Tonight is the 6-man cruiserweight cash-out match. Tonight, $1,000 and the cruiserweight title is on the line. Now, all these other cruiserweights, they're all worrying. They're all stressed out. Who's got my back? Who's going to stab me in the back? Who can I trust? Who can't I trust? Not me. No, not top shelf Jeremy Yeager, because you see, me and JT Blackstar, we got a deal. We're going to go through, we're going to eliminate each and every one of the other 4 cruiserweights, and then it's going to be me and him, one-on-one, for the cruiserweight title. And we'll find out who the better man is. Who is the... Hang on. Hello? Hey, Blackstar, what's up? What? You're not coming?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a great way to kick off the 12-year anniversary Extravaganza event here at the Knights of Columbus Hall. 6-way cruiserweight matchup. The winner of this matchup will win his spot as a #1 contender for the Cruiserweight Championship, and as I understand it, an extra $1,200 purse, if I'm not mistaken.
You are mistaken. It says here 1,000.
1,000. Okay, excuse me.
And hello, Larry. Good to be back. Why don't you greet me? Why don't you?
It is great to be back. It is great to have you back.
Well, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Mike. How you been? I didn't notice you got specs on now. Well, I go out for milk and cigarettes and come back and you got specs on, and you got I see you gained a wee bit of weight there. It's all right to have a shed to cover your tools there, lad. Good for you.
That's actually Lalo Gonzalez, Mac. I used to ref here before you went for your little shopping excursion. Well, that's neither here nor there. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at some outstanding cruiserweight action in the ring between McCunago Jr. and top shelf Jeremy Yeager.
It looks like a whole mess of junior high school students in there right now.
Well, don't mistake these for any junior high school kids whatsoever. These are young, top competitors, fresh out of the School of Hard Knocks. And out here they are. They are all competing to become the #1 contender for the Cruiserweight Championship, currently held by JT Blackstar, who was originally supposed to be in this match, Lalo.
That's exactly right. He actually refused to be here tonight. He said he only agreed to a triple threat match with him, Riot, and Yeager. So now these 6 men are going to compete for that #1 contendership. And you got to believe that Espiritu Infernal is one of the favorites. But look at Zero Gravity. He's not willing to just sit there. Now look at these 2 guys.
Both of them are going for the same move, that drop kick. No one can land it. Great minds think alike in this situation. As the tag is being made, it's going to be Marcus Wright, the former 2-time Cruiserweight champion, against Joseph Dropkick Murphy.
You know why they wear masks, don't you, the lucha wrestlers out here?
Why did they wear them, Macintosh?
Because they don't want to get busted and get deported.
Oh, will you stop?
That's disgusting, Mac.
Side headlock is reversed by Murphy. Murphy with a shoulder block, blocking Marcus Wright. Marcus Wright now trying to go for it again. I believe Murphy's got a little more height advantage and weight advantage as well on Marcus.
Gold about them Irish have hard heads.
Well, that they definitely do, and you would definitely know all about that, being a fellow Scotsman, feuding with the Irish. And now look at this. They're having a chop fest in the center of the ring. Murphy trying to go for the rope, but Marcus held on. Drops him in an atomic drop and follows it up with a drop kick. That sends Murphy out at ringside, while Marcus Wright is now on his quest to reclaim the Cruiserweight Championship here tonight.
Well, now you see Zero Gravity, Chris Cadillac getting tagged in by Marcus Riot, and looks like Joseph Murphy tagging in Top Shelf Jeremy Yeager. You know, these 2 have gone at it a couple times already. Top Shelf Jeremy Yeager always getting the best of Zero Gravity Chris Cadillac, but in every single match, Cadillac has gotten just a little bit better.
He needs to get a little bit heavier in each of his matchups. That's the only fault that I've been seeing with Chris Cadillac. He's got a great arsenal of moves, and unfortunately for him, though, that size advantage always comes to play in his matches.
Well, you know, he lists himself as 135 pounds, but in that 135-pound frame, he is deceptively powerful. And now look at this.
Well,
it's a 4-way, 5-way now. Is it going to be a 6-way? Yeah, 6-way headlock.
Big group hug there.
Now,
Hugging it out now, lady.
that 135 pounds was not going to do any good in that 6-person headlock. Oh, now wait a minute. They're breaking it up. Justin Borden, the official for this opening contest, has already looked to be lost control here. We're supposed to have 2 people in the ring at all times.
He couldn't control a Scrabble game.
That's kind of hard, so do you think, Matt?
He's up there, Mike.
I'm Lalo.
Huh?
Lalo.
Dropkick Murphy just went out onto the floor. Jaeger moved out of the way. In the ring, we have Marcus Wright, who just sent Mukerio Jr. out of the floor. And there's a punch by Jaeger on a Dropkick Murphy. In the ring, we have Espiritu Infernal, who just gave an eye rake to Chris Cadillac. And I think Espiritu has just found an opening for himself. Going up to the top rope. I think Murphy and Jaeger gotta watch out. Plancha out on the floor by Espiritu Infernal. I think Ontario International Airport found a little unidentified flying object on their radar.
Well, you know, when you have these cruiserweights in action, you got to anticipate a lot of high flying. And it looks like Marcus Wright's going to do a flying of his own.
Tope can heal the cannonball right through those ropes. And
If you don't understand Spanish, ladies and gentlemen, what Larry said was, Marcus Wright, go through the ropes.
well, that's one way to say it. Yes, it is.
That it is. Well, look at Mercurio Jr. crossing himself, now going to the top rope himself.
If he's not careful, he may hit that pinata.
Well, he is Mexican, Mac. You like doing that?
Look at this acai moonsault! Acai moonsault off the top! And wait a minute, what? Marcus Wright appears to be basing himself for Chris Cadillac. Well, these two have teamed up on a number of occasions here in EWF. Chris Cadillac now is just waiting for his moment. Just off the top, holy crap, a shooting star off the back.
That is exactly why they call him Zero Gravity Chris Cadillac. He defies the odds of gravity and does all kinds of high-flying maneuvers. And
I can do that myself. I do in the swimming pool off the diving board all the time.
well, it's a little different, Mac, just like this is a little different.
Look at this on a vicious elbow by Dropkick Murphy, taking out Marcus Wright, who tried to go out for a second time.
When it's finished, I'll pick it up.
Went to the well one too many times in Marcus Wright. And Murphy may have him here. Oh no, wait a minute. He just got caught with a nice spine buster. There's the cover, the hook of the leg. And we almost had our first elimination of the night.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you, this is an elimination match. Each of these competitors has to lose in order for this match to be over. There's going to be one man standing in order to get that #1 contendership.
And for a moment there, I thought Dropkick Murphy was not going to be standing. He looked to be set up for the LA Riot. But now Murphy in the ring with Mukerio Jr. Now Espiritu Infernal trying to get a handful of himself.
Murphy's in trouble now. Reversal shoots him in.
Tucks him underneath. And I believe that is the Green Mile. The Green Mile neckbreaker. That could finish off Espiritu Infernal. There is a hook of the leg. But Mukerio Jr. makes a save. I have to question that strategy. Mukerio Jr. knows this is elimination rules. Wait a minute, look at this, a drop kick with a leg sweep. Nice double team by Mukerio, and Espiritu Infernal, who just eliminated Dropkick Murphy.
Joseph Dropkick Murphy has been eliminated.
We already have the first elimination of the mic, and Lalo, I noticed that you were talking to Jesse, trying to get a signal going on. Something has happened at ringside.
That's right, you know, you're talking about your first elimination. Look at Marcus Wright is down there at ringside, just busting himself open after being shot out of the ring, hitting his head on those wooden steps. Those are unforgiving hardwood steps, and he's busted open in the back of his head. We might have our second elimination right there, but I doubt that Marcus Wright is going to want to end his match this way. He was a fighting champion. He's got a fighting spirit, and I think he wants to get in there, and I think he wants to finish this match.
Well,
Right now the action's back in the ring, Larry.
It is elimination rules. Earlier we saw Mukerio Jr. and Espiritu Infernal acting as a nice tag team. And now look at this, holding on after the slingshot attempt.
Single leg there.
And drops a leg. Nice double team again by Espiritu Infernal and Mukerio Jr. And they almost eliminated the man who issued this challenge back at our last event. And a tag made again. Look at this, Espiritu Infernal and Mukerio Jr. acting as a tag team here again. Oh no, wait a minute.
Turn the tables on him.
Look at this power slam by Espiritu Infernal out of nowhere. Marcus Wright trying to get back up into this. He's on the apron now, waiting for his turn. Oh, and now wait a minute. I think Mukerio Jr. is just going to be eliminated. 1, 2, and 3. That is it.
That's it for him.
Well, there's
Mercurio Jr. has been eliminated.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there's 2 down, 3 more eliminations to go. The last man standing is going to be the winner. And look at this. This is what I was talking about, the fighting spirit of Marcus Wright. He wants to stay in there. He doesn't want to get eliminated because of an injury. He's back on the apron waiting for his turn. And right now, it's Spirit doing for now. And Jeremy A look like they're trying to work out a strategy.
The strategy right now would be to leave the ring, lads. You don't know where Marcus Wright's been. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying there.
And now look at this, the Spiritu for now, bringing in Chris Cadillac. Nice suplex by Spiritu for now, and it looks like it's going to be the Spiritu and Jaeger, who've had a big rivalry here in the EWF, wrestling each other on various shows, trading off victory with each other. Now wait a minute, tag made back into Jaeger. Look at this setup, a double drop kick sandwiching Chris Cadillac. Now there's a cover again.
And didn't hook the leg, really.
Definitely one of the few rookie mistakes that Jeremy Jaeger.
Not much has changed around here, I can see.
Very few mistakes on the part of Jaeger, but that unfortunately was one of them. And now he sets up Chris Cadillac here, drops the knee right across the chin, goes for the cover one more time, and we get a 2 count again. Jaeger again showing frustrations, which we have seen in many of Jeremy Jaeger matches.
You know, I hate to take the attention away from me in the ring, but you see one of our ring crew members here is actually taping a towel to the back of Marcus Wright's head. That's how much Marcus wants to get back in this match and win the Cruiserweight #1 contendership and get his title back.
He's changing his strategy. Now he looks like a terrorist.
Oh, now I have to say again, will you stop, McIntosh?
That's disgusting, man.
First match, lads. I've just gotten started.
Have you ever heard of the Patriot Act? You're gonna get yourself in trouble, Mac.
I don't live in this country, lad.
The sad thing is he could do this all night.
I snuck in.
Nice bulldog by Spiritu Infernal, and he gets a 2 count on Chris Cadillac. And I am amazed that Spiritu Infernal and Jeremy Jaeger thus far have a working partnership in this matchup. These two, I've said before, they've been feuding with each other, especially after being announced as the co-Rookies of the Year of 2007. And now here they are in the ring, Spiritu with a cover after that elbow drop. And he gets a 2 count again on Chris Cadillac.
You know, you gotta think, you gotta wonder to yourself, Larry, is it that they want another shot at each other? Is that why they're working together? They want to get another shot at each other to prove who's the better man?
Well, definitely it's gonna have to come down to 2 people at the end of this. And it's actually gonna have to come down to 1. And now wait a minute, we may have one more elimination coming up here.
That's impressive.
Great variation on the lung blower.
He actually calls that the infernal combustion.
The infernal combustion almost eliminated Zero Gravity Chris Cadillac.
Oh, had he hooked the leg, he may have done just for that, lady.
The Spiritu for now showing some signs of frustration. I don't know if you were paying attention, he was arguing with Justin Borden for just that 1 second, and now goes back to work on Chris Cadillac. This all-important matchup, all or nothing matchup for a shot at the Cruiserweight Championship. For a shot! There was a shot right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, I talked to Infernal earlier. He told me he was going to use that sometime in the evening. He calls that the Twig and Berry Blower.
The Twig and Berry Blower.
The Twig and Berry Blower.
A very effective move nonetheless. And
Right in the bagpipes.
And now it's almost a race to see who can tag in or tag out or get eliminated here.
You got to believe that both of these men are just aching to get out. You know, Marcus Wright's not in the best shape. I don't know if he's going to want to get in.
Oh,
but he says, damn that, I'm getting in this match, and I want to go to work.
Clothesline on the Spiritu. Jaeger coming in on his own. Marcus Wright trying to take him out. Another clothesline onto a Spiritu Infernal. And another one, this time on Jaeger. Trying to clean house here with a Spiritu Infernal and Jaeger, the co-Rookies of the Year. Nice back body drop.
Nice turban's about to fly off.
I think that's safely secured around his head.
That is some strong duct tape he's got.
Now look at this. Sets him up here. Some more double teaming here. This time on the part of Chris Cadillac and Marcus Wright.
Another shot to pills there, lads.
That slingshot drop kick. There's a cover and a 2 count. After that drop kick suplex combination, I almost thought Jaeger was going to be eliminated in this match that he started.
Well, now you see Zero Gravity Chris Cadillac, excuse me, turning his attention to his Spirit of Infernal, whipping him into the turnbuckles, and now going on that, look at that avalanche clothesline into the corner.
Oh, now wait a minute. Has him in the corner. Chris Cadillac now charging in. Facelift drop kick right across the chest this time. That's a maneuver that normally Marcus Ryan would be going for. I thought he was going to go for it. That's why he asked for the tag in. But now he's got his Spiriton for now standing, sending him into the corner. Big forearm shot.
Well, look at this, Larry. I think that's a setup for that fist kick.
Facelift drop kick right in the corner. Marcus Ryan, I think, just took himself out as well. Now coming back in the ring without it, the quote-unquote Turban Macintosh. And there you can see the gash that's across his face from that fall earlier. Oh, no, wait a minute. Wait a minute. No tag was made. Here comes another double team. Powerbomb into the guillotine. That has got to be it. That has got to be headed. It's Spiriton in for now.
That's it for him.
Well, you know, ladies and gentlemen, these two men have tagged before, and they have made an effective tag team in the last few months. Those are just the normal type of maneuvers that they're used to. But now look who's in the ring. These former tag team partners look like they're gonna have to square up against each other for that #1 contendership.
Espiritu Infernal has been eliminated.
And now look at this.
Oh, look at this.
Best friends and partners now going at it in the center of the ring. That's what it's coming down to. One-on-one competition. The winner gets a shot at the Cruiserweight Champion. Now look at his head scissors, but landing on his feet. Marcus Ryan going for the Huracan Rana.
I got it that time.
Chris Cadillac, groggy in the corner now. Marcus Ryan, you gotta believe he wants to put this away fast, because the longer this match can go, the longer he can lose blood. Oh no, wait a minute. Look at this beautiful Huracan Rana. He spiked Marcus Ryan, the former two-time champion here at EWF, and he gets a 2 count.
These men are not letting anything go to chance. These guys are fighting each other as if they're mortal enemies. Both of these men want that #1 contendership. Friendship be damned, they're fighting each other tooth and nail.
They gotta leave it all in the ring. Look at this, a Pele kick. The Cadillac converter, as he calls it. Marcus with a Pele kick of his own. Both men again groggy and dazed after going for each other's move.
Jeremy Yeager's still nowhere to be seen. He must have been knocked out cold and just still on the outside of the ring.
I was about to ask where Yeager was. Last I recalled, he was still in this matchup. As we have Cadillac and Marcus Riot killing each other in the center of the ring. Riot looks like to be going for the LA Riot. Reversed by Cadillac. Wait a minute, backdrop lands on his feet. And look at this, nails him face first, right in that open wound. But look at this, the roaring lariat.
That was impressive.
Zero gravity hitting the CTS on Marcus Riot, but then there's the roaring lariat. Now look at this, the setup for the LA Riot.
Oh my God!
And there it is, the LA Riot.
He just took off his head, and zero gravity. Chris Cadillac.
Has been eliminated.
What a great showing. And now, wait a minute, Yeager coming in. Schoolboy roll up with the powerbomb.
What extra? Well done.
He just stole this match.
Well done.
He just...
Has been eliminated. And here is your winner and the #1 contender for the Cruiserweight Championship, Jeremy Tough Show Yeager.
Jeremy Yeager just stole the win from Marcus Riot.
Exactly how I would have done it last.
Well, you know, as much as I hate to say it, that was smart strategy on the part of Top Shelf Jeremy Yeager. He just put Possum on the outside of the ring and looked for that perfect opportunity. Powerbombing Marcus Riot, putting his feet on the ropes, going for the pin, and is now our new #1 contender.
Let me hear one thing, Covina. Boo this man! Oh, come on, one more time. Boo this man! Oh, you people are hot. Oh, boy. Now, I haven't seen it for myself, but people everywhere are telling me that I endured one of the absolute worst beatings ever seen the last show. They say Rodney King didn't have it as bad as I did. They say that girl in the video that got beat up by the cheerleaders didn't have it as bad as I did. They said the Anaheim Angels getting beat by the Oakland A's didn't have it as bad as I did last night. But I stood strong. I persevered, and I rose above to slay the dragon that was known as Pino Gambino. And you'll never see him or hear his terrible ring music ever again. And the beauty part of it all is I did it all by myself. It being a street fighter and all, I have one more declaration. On top of being known as the 2007 EWF Referee of the Year, on top of being known as a human heat machine, I would like to now and forever be known as Mondo Vega, King of the Streets. Undefeated street fights. That's me. But just to prove I'm a good sport about things, right now I want to honor the career of Pino Gambino by giving him the time-honored tradition of a 10-bell salute. So right now, everyone get up, stand up. If you like Pino Gambino and all, you'll get on your feet and give him the respect his career deserves. Well, I guess you don't like Pino Gambino then. All right, 10-bell salute for Pino's career. Go ahead. Okay, seriously, that's enough. You didn't think you were going to waste 10 whole seconds on Pino Gambino, right?
Come on, Mario, that's ridiculous.
I said let's get on with the rest of the show. I'm done. The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, currently in the ring, weighing in at 315 pounds, from Batesville, Arkansas, Country Bear! And his opponent, weighing in at 222 and a quarter pounds, he is from Northside, Indio, Mayhem Mars.
The 12-year anniversary extravaganza continues with this singles match, a rematch from the fight before Christmas. Mayhem Mars Vaughn, one-on-one against Country Bear.
I see Country Bear still hasn't gone to the Walmart to buy himself a pair of shoes.
Well, like Mike said, some things never change, Mac.
You got that right, Mike.
Lalo. My name is Lalo.
I'm hungry as well. When's the pizza getting here?
No, wait a minute. What? The ring announcer just called our referee Christopher Reeve. I could have sworn at the last event it was Christopher Lee.
No, it's Christopher Reeve. You got it.
It's
Mike is on top of things. He's a professional. Christopher Reeve.
It's Christopher Reeves.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
Well, I guess if the ring announcer's on the ball, it must be true, right?
Exactly. Have you ever known me to make a mistake when I was announcing? Shut up, Larry.
No comment on that.
Exactly.
And now look at this, back in the ring. Mayhem Mars Vaughn already trying to go to work at the throat of Country Bear, trying to choke him out with his own flag that he comes to the ring with.
I'd like to announce. Wouldn't that be fun?
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Aye.
Especially after you've had a couple of drinks in you already.
He already has had a couple of drinks.
I know, he had him in the motorcycle it came out to earlier.
Aye. Beer's cheaper than gas nowadays, so go ahead and drink and drive.
Look at this, a clothesline by Mars Vaughn missed. That shoulder block by Country Bear definitely did not miss.
Well, you know, Mayhem Mars Vaughn has been on somewhat of a winning streak here lately. I believe it. Yeah, he defeated Rockstar Cordova last week at International Incident and defeated former EWF superstar Pino Gambino at Back on Track. It kills me to say former, but he's no longer here.
Well, that is true with a little help from Mondo Vega, but that's all. That is history now. And this matchup almost became history after that splash. But Christopher Reeve says only a 1 count.
Christopher Reeve, you got it. Yeah, 1 count. Yeah.
I could have sworn he was Christopher Lee at the last show.
Christopher Reeve. Trust me, I got my notes say Christopher Reeve.
Okay, if your notes say it, it's got to be true, right?
Exactly.
Now look at this Country Bear ramming Mars Vaughn head first, repeatedly into the top corner. Look at this, he's at 9.
These stupid people in Covina forgot 7. Did you hear that?
I thought I heard the 7. I really thought I did.
Well, you see Country Bear feeling the adrenaline of the crowd, getting back into things, and now going for the cover. There's 1. Only a 1 count, though. You know, Country Bear most recently lost to Sonny Sampson in an international incident, but did have a victory when he teamed with Coconut Joe and Rockstar Cordova at the most recent Operation Phoenix Block Party in San Bernardino.
Let me tell you about that Sonny Sampson. That's the only man on earth that can tell the flavor of a popsicle by sitting on it.
That's horrible.
I have to remind the fans that the views expressed by Matt McIntosh do not necessarily reflect the views of EWF or myself.
But it does reflect the note that Larry gave me. He said, say this about Sonny Sampson.
What note? I didn't hand you no note.
Right here, or Mike gave it to me.
Yeah, it must have been Mike.
Yeah, bring it out to Mike.
That is right, that Mike.
That Mike.
And now look at this Mayhem Mars Vaughn now asking for Country Bear, begging for more. And he's sucking him in with that knee, and now follows it up right at the top of the head, hammering away. Repeated shots to the head, sets him up into the ropes. No, it's reversed by Country Bear. And look at this, knocks him down with a big clothesline. That's what happens when you have the size and weight advantage, almost having, I believe, almost 100 pounds advantage on Mars Vaughn.
That's very true, but there you see the quick equalizer with a thumb to the eye. One of the oldest tricks in the book. Now Mayhem Mars Vaughn has a momentum, and there's a quick knife-edge chop right across the chest of Country Bear.
And another one by Mayhem Mars Vaughn. I had mentioned before that back at the fight before Christmas, these two individuals have met before, but this was back then it was Mayhem, 1/2 of aggravated assault. Now we have Mayhem Mars Vaughn, a completely different Mars Vaughn, ever since he decided to drop the aggravated assault name and attire, now making it out on his own. As you said earlier, Lalo, he's gathered up a great winning streak thus far, and he wants to continue it here. Delivers another drop kick, rocking the big man. Country Bear still will not go down, but he may go down after this, charging into the corner. And look at this, he just went shoulder first into the ring post.
Is Mars Vaughn out of prison now? Is that why he's, split up from aggravated assault and went into the new get-up there?
Well, as far as I know, he's repaid his debt to society.
By knocking on everybody's doors and telling what he did?
I believe so.
In the neighborhood there?
No, how he did it at this point doesn't matter. The fact is that he did it, and his partner still is serving his time.
Smelling little girls' bicycle seats.
Oh, now, hey, wait a minute.
It's criminal.
Well, it's been criminal is the beating that Mars Vaughn was giving in the ring, and now the shoe is on the other foot.
It's not on Country Bear's foot.
Oh, you beat me to that one. I had to set you up for that one, didn't I, Mac?
Well, he's been gone for a while. I mean, must have been a pretty damn big carton of milk and a hell of a lot of cigarettes.
I've been waiting 8 months to say that about Country Bear.
Well, here's the cover. 1, 2. Christopher Reeve, our referee in charge, only getting a 2 count, though. There's another quick cover. Still only a 2 count.
I like that Country Bear kept going for the cover and not getting discouraged that he couldn't get him right away. But now here he is, staying in control, sends Mars Vaughn into the ropes. Nails him with a big boot right across the chest.
Shoulder there.
I wouldn't call it a big boot. That was a big bare foot right across the chest of Mayhem Mars Vaughn. And then there's another cover. Look at the leg. 1. Only a 1 count.
It's gonna take him weeks to get the stink off that shoulder now.
Are you implying
Big, giant, callous, leathery foot of Country Bear.
That's horrible.
I agree. Look at those soles right there. That's disgusting.
I would tell him to stop, but he'd just keep going.
I wonder if he ever takes the tape off.
I'm sure he does, Matt. Come on now. Well, right now you see Country Bear working a nice armbar play right smack dab in the middle of the ring to Mars Vaughn. Our referee Christopher Reeve right on top of it, making sure that Mars Vaughn taps or he doesn't tap. You hear Country Bear telling him to tap. I think he's gonna break his damn arm.
He's pretty close to it at this point. Mars Vaughn, you can see him trying to get back up onto his feet. Nailing Country Bear repeatedly now. Breaking the hold. Delivers a headbutt. And look at this, that groggied both Country Bear and Mars Vaughn.
But then you see Mayhem Marzban favoring that arm that Country Bear working on. And there it is. There's the bear hug that's usually set up for the shotgun.
And he connects with it. Shotgun blast. He tried to go for this on Marzban last time. Didn't quite work the way he wanted to.
Redemption around and hook that leg there to Country Bear.
Now, McIntosh, you and I, we've seen him put away a number of competitors with that move. And now here he is. He has a chance to do it. Taking too much time. Wait a minute. Holy crap, what agility on the big man. Trying to go for a somersault leg drop. Unfortunately for him, though, Marzban moved out of the way. And this I gotta believe is a big mistake on the part of Country Bear. He had the match won. He could have pinned Marzban. Instead, he wanted to get cute. He wanted to get flashy for the fans. The fans here who love him and respect him so much here at the Knights of Columbus Hall. And Marzban now on his feet, trying to capitalize on this opening. But Country Bear fighting back still. Still have a lot of fight left in him, despite missing the move earlier. Sends him into the corner. It's reversed by Vaughn.
Take the back pipe.
Head drop.
Right there.
Will this be enough for Marzban? Wait a minute, Marzban not going for the cover. What?
Marzban not going to the top rope. You know, this is high risk. I don't know that this is a smart idea.
Now, wait a minute. This is uncharacteristic of Marzban. Going up to the top rope. Look at this. He almost removed the panel from the ceiling and delivers a nice leg drop off the top. 1, 2, and 3. And Marzban puts away Country Bear yet again.
Here is your winner, Mayhem Marzban.
Well, Mayhem Marzban continuing his winning ways here in the EWF. Like him or not, he is a force to be reckoned with here in the EWF, Larry.
Well, he definitely was when he was one half of the EWF Tag Team Champions many moons ago. And I gotta believe he's only a victory or two closer to getting a shot at possibly the American Championship or the Heavyweight Championship. Both matches, both titles, they will be on the line here later tonight for the 12-year anniversary show.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the TJ Liger. I got a little something to say before we start this. There's a reason why Raul and Alma never gets booked in the EWF. There's a simple reason why the World Tag Team Champions never wrestle in the promotion. There's nobody that can beat us. Don't get me wrong, TJ, I respect you. Liger, I respect you. Both of you have my respect. But you're gonna have to get real. Because it's just not happening. The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the EWF Tag Team Championships. Introducing first, the challengers. First, weighing in at 162 pounds, from San Bernardino, California, Liger Rivera. And his tag team partner, weighing in at 185 pounds, from Riverside, California, TJ Perkins. Together, they are famous for Fearless! And their opponents, weighing in at a combined 525 pounds. They are the team of the OC Wrecking Machine, Black Metal, and Extreme Local, La Hora del Mar!
This is a tag team matchup that I know a lot of the fans of the Empire Wrestling Federation have been looking forward to, as Loyola Del Mal put the titles on the line against this new tag team that has been tearing it up in the independent wrestling scene, the team of famous for Fearless, TJ Perkins and Liger Rivera.
You know, you're talking about just fans in the EWF, Larry. People in the entire world, fans of the National Wrestling Alliance, have been talking about this team right here. This team has been undefeated since they formed here in the EWF. I even hear that Los Luchas have been watching their back when it comes to TJ Perkins and Liger Rivera.
Well, definitely if I were Los Luchas, if I held any form of tag team gold anywhere, I would have to watch out for this team, famous for Fearless. Loyola Del Mal, on the other hand, they feel like they have an easy match here, and I hope Black Metal doesn't think that just because they're not a regular tag, they weren't a regular tag team in the past, and now here they are. I hope he doesn't put that past them, because all TJ Perkins and Liger Rivera need is one opportunity, and they could take the belts away from Loyola Del Mal.
But it's a large task there, you know, as much as everybody in the NWA and the EWF has been talking about TJ and Liger, they're going up against two of the biggest men in the EWF in Black Metal and Extreme Loco.
Well, that is very true. As you see, Black Metal, the size advantage was a little disadvantage, if you will, but not for long. Cut TJ Perkins. And now hammering away in the corner, but TJ trying to go with that stick and move offense. This is what he has to do in order to take down Black Metal. But look at this, Black Metal just too powerful right now.
Aye, but TJ's got the right strategy there. Stay on top of him. Don't ever let up. Oh, look at, he almost kicked the streaks right out of TJ's hair there.
Look at this, went for the clothesline, that missed. Back elbow missed as well. Slides underneath him. Liger now in the ring. Wait a minute, Liger holds him. Liger was the base for the added assist there. Drop toe hold. Extreme Loco doesn't want to go down, so Liger gives him an assist with the Bulldog. Look at this double drop kick, sending out Black Metal. And another one this time to Extreme Loco.
Look at all the cheating going on there, and the crowd loves them for it.
Cheating? What are you talking about?
No tag there.
Well, that is true, but Extreme Loco came in the ring without a tag. Hey, you got nothing for that one, huh, Matt?
Liger came in first. He started it, Larry.
You're not going to get anywhere with that.
But Liger finished it, though.
Right.
Liger finished it, though.
Am I lying?
No, you're not lying. And
Well,
to a
remember,
degree.
It takes two people about the line.
To agree, you weren't lying.
One to say it and one to hear it.
And I guess I have to be the one to hear it, huh?
Better you than me, Larry.
Liger Rivera now in the ring with Extreme Loco. A lot of people would say this is a mismatch, considering this is a matchup between the two smaller men of the team.
Yeah, but you got to take into consideration Liger Rivera's speed. This guy is quicker than a hiccup. I mean, he can do just about anything about as fast as you can think it.
Oh, that is very true. Mad Macintosh knows very well the abilities of Liger Rivera.
He is quicker than a hiccup. That's true.
Thanks, Mac, for agreeing with me.
You're welcome, Mike.
Now, look at this, Liger Rivera trying to fight back. Well, you're not going to win with this. Springboard crossbody, and Extreme Loco's just standing there, almost like as if he felt like a mosquito trying to bite him. And look at this, just shoves him down. Liger trying to stay on top of Extreme Loco. You got to do whatever you can to knock him down, which is what he's doing. That springboard drop kick. Look at this, Loco is not going down. Headbutt, and again, Liger, I think adding more injury to himself than he is to Extreme Loco. Look at this.
Double axe handle knocks Liger down.
Just swatting him down again like the fly.
Well, you heard Liger Rivera a minute ago just fall already. He doesn't know what he's got to do to knock him down. But look at Extreme Loco buckling him with that knife-edge chop, followed up by another.
Look at this, all that offense of Liger Rivera attempted on Loco, and Loco just needed 2 shots. And, oh no, wait a minute, look at this. Liger trying to kick the legs out from underneath them. Oh, just for a minute I thought it was going to work. Wait a minute, he finally gets him down. And he gets
2 count down.
Jawbreaker. Again, staggers a big man, doesn't take him down though. Tags into TJ Perkins. There's a legal tag, Macintosh.
And the ref's not counting him out there. Oh, now he does it. He must have heard me.
Drop kicks the knee right out from underneath him. Now has him up on his shoulders for an added assist with the senton. There's a cover by TJ, the legal man. And he gets a 2 count.
That flurry of offense, as impressive as it was, is not going to be enough to take down Extreme Loco. You're talking about a guy that weighs upwards of 250 pounds, and he's the small one.
I've been saying that for a year, well, almost a year now, since he's been teaming up with Black Metal. And now wait a minute, here comes a slingshot senton back into the ring by TJ. Now goes for the cover, no hook to the leg, and that's probably why he got a 2 count.
TJ's fast as well.
Again, there's that stick and move offense that I said earlier that TJ has to utilize before he can break him down. And now look at this. Black Metal tried to hold on to TJ, but TJ slipped out of the way, but not for long. Black Metal in the ring now. Justin Borden says there was a tag. Look at this, TJ floating over Black Metal, but he got nailed by Extreme Loco.
Overwhelming power. Laola Del Nacho's just overwhelmed TJ Pinoy. Is he Pinoy Perkins? What is it now?
It's TJ
I've been
Perkins.
gone for a while.
It's TJ Perkins and Laola Del Mal.
Laola Del Perkins.
Laola Del Mal and TJ Perkins. Tag made back in to Black Metal. Look at this, a double team on the part of Extreme Loco and Black Metal. Big double elbow. Nothing fancy about that, especially after he just knocked off Liger Rivera, and I think he landed hard on the ring steps.
Somebody needs to move those bloody steps.
And they literally are bloody, covered in Marcus Riot's blood from earlier. Liger Rivera, the latest victim of those
He's
evil
laying his
steps.
face on the blood now. Liger, you don't know where Marcus has been. Get off of that mat.
Now look at us, they continue the double team on TJ Perkins as they peel him out of the corner. Double hip toss. Things aren't looking too good for TJ Perkins right now, as Black Metal and Extreme Loco were
Things
just,
aren't looking good for Liger. He needs to go to the clinic in a couple of weeks.
they were just tossing around TJ like a ball earlier. Now look at this, Liger Rivera trying to come in to help his partner, but at this point Justin Borden is blocking Liger from helping him. Meanwhile, Black Metal is in control of TJ Perkins. Short arm clothesline.
You know, you see that they're having so much trouble with Laola Del Mal right now. You should cover 1, 2, only a 2 count though. Do you think that this match might have been booked a little too quick? I mean, yeah, they were undefeated going into this, but it looks like Laola Del Mal has been having their way with Famous for Fearless so far.
Well, Black Metal made a point earlier on before the introductions. He said the only reason why we're not booked on these shows is because there is yet to be a team that's willing to face them. I mean, these are the guys that broke up aggravated assault, and we all remember the reputation aggravated assault had. And can you imagine what you would have to do to defeat the team that broke up aggravated assault?
Well, right now, nothing that TJ and Liger are doing is helping themselves whatsoever. I mean, they had a little bit of a flare-up offense earlier, but right now you see TJ Perkins getting worn out in the middle of that ring with that big bear hug applied by Black Metal.
It would have been real simple to get those belts off aggravated assault had they done it the right way.
And what would have been the right way?
I would have called the corrections officer, the probation officers, and tell them what they're up to on Friday nights in Covina.
Well, TJ Perkins up to his usual trickery, hanging himself up in the ropes, Black Metal going through the ropes, and now TJ tagging into Liger Rivera.
Wait a minute, Justin Borden was in the corner with Extreme Loco, and now he says, wait a minute, I didn't see a tag. Oh, come on, Justin Borden, there was a legal tag. I saw it, Lolo saw it, even McIntosh saw it.
Saw what?
The tag that was made by Liger and TJ.
I saw no such thing. Don't put words in my mouth, Eddie.
What do you mean? You had to have seen it.
Mike, say something.
Did you already have too much to drink already?
Mike's sitting over there. I'm Lalo.
You guys should be sitting on the other side of me to correspond with my shirt that says I'm with stupid.
That's our cameraman you're talking about. He's not stupid.
Trying to get all the great shots of this wrestling action courtesy of the Empire Wrestling Federation, as this card is stacked for this 12-year anniversary event.
That it is, and the opposite of stupid is smart, and Laola Del Mal is being extremely smart. Crisp, clean, quick tags, and now look at this beautiful stalling suplex. Black Metal just pounding TJ Perkins right into that mat. Now the cover, 1, 2. Liger Rivera saving his partner though, and maybe the EWF tag titles.
Well, Black Metal, I believe, took a little too much time going for that cover. And again, you saw he was trying to shove off Liger Rivera from the corner again, cutting him off from TJ Perkins. The mark of a champion. Right now, as Black Metal tagged back out to Extreme Loco, hammering away, pounding away on TJ Perkins. Now let's not take anything away from TJ Perkins. He is a great athlete, and he can take a lot of punishment. I've seen him go through many wars, but how much more pain, how much more punishment can he go through while Extreme Loco is in the ring?
That's a good question, Eddie. I have a feeling we're going to find out the hard way here.
Unfortunately, TJ is going to find out the hard way.
Better him than me, Larry.
Another tag made back into Black Metal. Look at this, that kick to the exposed ribs of TJ Perkins.
They weren't covered by a singlet or a shirt or anything.
TJ Perkins needs to make a tag in the worst possible way. You see Liger Rivera trying to get the crowd into it, trying to give TJ Perkins that little boost of adrenaline, trying to give him any help he can. Black Metal whipping him into the turnbuckle post, and now look at that!
Kicks him in the corner, knocks off Extreme Loco from his corner. Now he's trying to fight his way through this giant redwood tree that is Black Metal, the OC Wrecking Machine. However, he had him in the corner, and now Extreme Loco, the legal man, has him in the corner, and looks like he's going to bring him out the hard way. Has him hooked here, running power slam perhaps. No, TJ TJ blocks that attempt. And now Black Metal coming in. Look at this. He just nailed his own partner inadvertently. TJ Perkins, with eyes in the back of his head, somehow managed to see Black Metal coming in, and he dodged out of the way just in time. Now Liger Rivera tagged in. Look at this, missile drop kick off the top rope. Enziguri on Extreme Loco. Oh, the Superman battering ram into Black Metal, knocking the wind out of him. That's got to be the only way that he can take down Black Metal from this match. And there you see Extreme Loco just shoving him out of the corner. Oh no, wait a minute. He's got a sleeper hold. Oh, but not for long. Extreme Loco has him in the corner. But look at this, the fight in Liger Rivera. And I think that's going to be all null and void now that Black Metal has a hold of him. And just swatting him off the back of his partner.
That's one way to get a wee monkey off their back there.
Is a liger, not a monkey.
A liger's a mystical creature. They don't exist, Mike.
Look at this flying crossbody. But Lola Demo caught him. And now look at this, they added assist by TJ Perkins. Now it's TJ. He looks to trying to be in control here. Look at this. Tornado DDT with an assist off of Black Metal, kicking away at him. Black Metal, they're holding on to TJ now. Wait a minute. What's Liger doing? Liger, Hurricanrana! And he just sent Black Metal out of ringside.
Almost into the lap of an older Mexican woman.
TJ now with a flapjack. Now Extreme Loco and Black Metal's getting close to here. Oh no, wait a minute. There's that slingshot senton by Liger Rivera.
Shock and awe.
The shock and awe almost did it. And now wait a minute, Justin Borden is calling for the bell. Now wait a minute. Black Metal now using the bells to hit.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh, wait a minute.
your winners by disqualification, famous for fearless.
Now wait a minute.
However, as the belts cannot change hands as a result of a disqualification, your tag team champions are still La Ola del Mar.
Wait a minute.
That's smart strategy, Jam.
Wait a minute. That I have yet to have seen La Ola del Mar deliberately disqualify themselves in order to retain the championships.
Well, all of them all held those titles for quite a long time, and I think that they're not ready to relinquish from that. You saw Black Metal whipping Liger Rivera over the back with that title belt, and then just delivering a shot right to the cranium of TJ Perkins.
Granted, the shock and awe would have put away Extreme Loco. We'll never officially know now, courtesy of Black Metal saving his partner, as well as the EWF Tag Team Championship.
You know something, EWF fans? Right now, what you're looking at right now on your little TV screen, your little monitor, you're looking at Ryan Taylor and Hook Bomberry, two of the top in the EWF today. And you know something, my good friend, Hook Bomberry here, has got some EWF gold around his shoulders. You see that? Look at that. Pretty nice,
American
right?
heavyweight wrestling champion, baby.
But you know, if you look at me, I don't got any gold around my shoulders, do I, Hook? I don't have any gold, do I?
No, you do not.
I don't think so. But you know,
That's
tonight,
right.
I plan to remedy that. I'm going to remedy that. You know what? I'm going to remedy that. I'm going to get in that frickin' ring. I'm going to take every last competitor, wrestler, little wannabe. You want to get in that ring, whatever. I've been in the EWF now for what's going on, 4 years?
4 years.
I think it's about time Ryan Taylor had an EWF championship of proudness. That's right. You want to talk?
You're damn right. Hook Bomberry wants to talk. Now you could say Ryan Taylor wants a title of
Darn right I do.
promise,
Pride.
of pride. Ryan Taylor wants to win his pride back. And you know what? He came to the right person. He came to Hook Bomberry, the American champion of the Empire Wrestling Federation. And you know what? To prove my loyalty to my good friend, my brother, my compadre, Ryan Taylor, I'm going to do everything in my power tonight to make sure he wins that battle royal. And you know what? Vision, you're the one thorn in my side that I can't get rid of. I've tried everything to beat your butt in that ring, but you keep coming up on top. But you know what? The sad part about that is Hook Bomberry is still the American champion. So tonight, even if I don't beat you, I'm leaving that ring with this title belt. Oh, wait, there's Mondo Vega, just the man I've been looking for.
Bro, come here.
Come here, man.
Hey, my boys. How you doing? How are things? Things
our
good?
My boy,
Yeah.
where's that money from last week, buddy?
Money.
Oh, you mean for the thing, right?
Yeah,
The
the thing where we saved your ass out there in that freaking ring.
Look, you're totally gonna get your checks on the 1st. I told you, I already sent them out. I mean,
Yesterday was the 1st. Today is the 2nd,
Look,
my friend.
Okay, times are tough all over. Once I get my economic stimulus check, you'll be good to go. Do I look like a wrestling promoter to you? I'm not gonna screw you guys out of this.
Yeah, Jesse Hernandez, he's right.
No way. I ain't like that at all.
I'll tell you what.
On the
you
level.
Pay off our fines, we're
Yeah.
good to go.
No, you'll be good to go. You can do anything you want. I'll pay the fines. We roll
I want
together.
any more hassle about it.
No. Frank Mott ain't gonna give us no trouble. Jesse Hernandez ain't gonna give us no trouble. It's all about us guys. You're gonna keep your belt tonight. You're gonna win the Battle Royal.
And get my title shot.
Yeah. All of
Together,
it.
we're gonna rule the EWF.
Oh yeah. Ow.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is from the EWF American Championship. Introducing first the challenger, weighing at 235 pounds, from Clearwater, Florida. Everybody loves the
Oh, no, wait a minute. We haven't had a chance to introduce the champion, Hook Bomber, on the attack on Vision, who's getting his 3rd attempt at this championship. The last 2 times he fought Hook Bomberry, he deliberately disqualified himself in order to retain the championship.
Not only have we not had a chance to get the ring introductions done, Vision hasn't put his goggles on yet.
He didn't get a chance to throw that stupid freebie shirt out either. Oh, here he goes.
Well, Lalo, if you haven't noticed, Matt McIntosh and Vision, they don't mesh well together.
Yeah, Mac, what is it about you guys? I mean, honestly, you've been gone for a while, so I felt it was my job to make a few Biclops jokes about Vision here. But since you're back, I'm gonna go and let you take the honors tonight.
Well, I used to call him 4 eyes, but I hear that only 3 work now. He's short one.
That's funny, but horrible.
I can't believe that you laughed at his handicap there, Mike. I'm gonna go tell 4 eyes that you're laughing at him. That you laughed at it and put 3 eyes.
Exactly, Mike laughed at it. Exactly.
Mike, you're gonna get in a lot of trouble.
Well, right now, Hook Bomberry is in a lot of trouble. The reigning American champion, who has put away 2 careers back at our last event. Not only did he put away, oh, wait a minute, there's a cover by the challenger. And he gets a 2 count. Back at Overkill 3, our last event here at the Knights of Columbus Hall, not only did he put away his best friend's career, Apollo Khan, defeating him, not only beating him in the match, but making him pass out through the pain, choking him out to submission in order to retain the American Championship. He also assisted Mondo Vega, along with Ryan Taylor, who were out here earlier. He assisted Mondo Vega in ridding EWF of Bino Gambino. Truly one of the saddest nights of professional wrestling.
Hook Bombetti has calling for a timeout.
But there are no timeouts in wrestling. He just created one of his own right now after sending him shoulder first into the ring post.
Well, you know, Vision is a former American champion here in the EWF, and he's been dying to get his hand on some EWF gold. And he's had 2 chances here against Hook Bomberry before, and right now, he's looking worse for the wear in his 3rd opportunity.
Vision, a former American champion, as well as a heavyweight champion and Rookie of the Year here in the EWF. He knows what has to be done in order to get the job done. And now, wait a minute, look at us, a cover by Hook Bomberry. But I think that may be a little bit too late. Should have gone for it right away, as he went for it right away there, but again, only gets a 2 count.
All you gotta do, deal out a bit more punishment to get the win over on 3 eyes in there.
Trying to choke away on a Vision, much similar to the way he choked out Apollo Khan not too long ago.
You know, as much as Mac jokes and as much as I've tried to take the reins of joking about Vision, you gotta agree that he is a true inspiration to not only the professional wrestling world, but anybody in general. I mean, he has chased his dream despite being legally blind. And he has become a heavyweight champion and an American champion here in one of the most prestigious promotions in all of professional wrestling.
And he's still able to drive a car okay.
Yes, Mac, he can still drive a car too.
Suplex attempt was countered by Vision. Hook Bomberry tried to go for it a couple of times. Vision now with the cover after the reversal. And he only gets a 2 count.
Well, our referee, Justin Borden, right on top of things, right there, in perfect position to make that count.
You know, Vision didn't see that knee to the gut there, did he?
I'm gonna take a page out of your book, Lalo. That was horrible.
Thank you.
There's a cover by Hook Bomberry. And again, he gets a 2 count. Hook again now, this time going to the neck vice. Again, trying to work over a submission, trying to wear down Vision. And so far, it looks to be working at this point.
Did you know that Hook Bomberry, he's not Asian? Did you know that?
He's not Asian.
No, he's actually Algonquin or something. He's an Eskimo.
An Eskimo.
Look at that, pulling him down by the mullet. Again, finding an opening as Vision was trying to create an opening for himself. But look at this, he's taking too much time away from Vision, and he's arguing with Justin Borden, the official. There's a cover again. And again, I gotta believe that was a little too late.
Justin Borden better watch out because Hook Bomberry will club him like a seal back in his old country, you know.
I think you're mistaken about the Eskimo thing, but there's a quick cover too.
And he gets a 2 counting. But look at this, Hook Bomberry with a nice clothesline. Apollo Khan was his best friend that he had ended the wrestling career of at a last event at Overkill. And who knows, he's probably not done. He may want to end another career. He could try to end the career of Vision, but Vision is going to say otherwise. On the verge of capturing another championship here in EWF. He's one step closer after that nice DDT. But he has to go for the cover. He can't roll him over for the cover. All you gotta do, Vision, is put one hand, put one finger on Hook. He could be put away.
Well, they see Justin Borden in the inner neck 10 count. Already up to 6. If neither of these men get to their feet by 10, this match is gonna be a draw. And I know that's not what these people paid for. Hook Bomberry back with his feet, delivering a right hand, followed up by a 1 by Vision, and another, and another.
Look at this hammering away on Hook Bomberry now. Vision sends him into the ropes. Went for the back elbow, but he missed. Didn't miss with that flying knee. Now goes for the cover again, and he gets a 2 count.
That's a feeler there. I know that Vision likes to throw that knee. Later on in the match is a feeler as he sets out for that 20-20.
We could see that here in this matchup, unless Hook Bomberry disqualifies himself again. That's the last 2. Whoa, look at that enziguri by Hook Bomberry.
He never saw that coming.
But you had to go there again, didn't you? Oh, look at this drop kick to the back of the head. I don't think he'd want to see that.
Look at Vision, looked like he was trying to go for a tag. Unfortunately, it's a singles match.
Oh my God, he took his head off of that corkscrew neck breaker. That's the move he used to put away Mikey Henderson, not once, but twice here in the EWF.
But Vision just kicked out of it. I don't think I've ever seen anybody kick out of that corkscrew neck breaker.
Vision going against all odds, kicking out of that corkscrew neck breaker. And Hook Bomberry looks to be leaving. He just went out at ringside.
That way, Hook.
Wait a minute, he's asking where is it?
What's he looking for?
He's looking for something. He's looking for an equalizer. He just grabbed a chair from ringside. Wait a minute, he just grabbed 2 of them. He could be going for another disqualification, and this will retain the championship. Wait a minute, he's asking for his belt.
I don't have the belt.
Hook Bomberry arguing for his belt. Meanwhile, throwing chairs in left and right. Wait a minute, he just took a ringside seat from a fan.
And these people pay for those chairs.
They definitely did. They paid a hefty price to sit at ringside. Oh no, wait a minute. He's got the chair. And he just nailed Vision right across the face. And Justin Borden didn't see that disqualification. 1, 2, look at this strike. And thank God this match is not over.
I can't believe that.
Thank God that Vision had some reserves left to kick out of that chair shot. And Hook Bomberry's upset. He thought he had the match won. And now wait a minute, not discouraged. Still has a chair. Justin Borden, get that chair away from him. We can't have another blatant disqualification. This would make it 3 in a row. And now look at this, Hook Bomberry inadvertently hit himself in the head with the chair.
He hit himself twice.
If Evervision had a chance to connect the cover, go for the win, this would be it.
Now here comes that 2020. I've been under the receiving end of that twice.
And now wait a minute, up on the top rope. There it is! The 2020 elbow. 1, 2, and 3. We have a new champion!
Here's your winner, and the new EWF American Champion, everybody loves our Vision!
Years ago, Vision had to forfeit that very same championship due to that eye injury. And now here he is, 12-year anniversary extravaganza. Finally, he has reclaimed the gold, the belt that he has never lost, and now a 3-time EWF American Heavyweight Champion.
First of all, I want to say, West Covina, I love you! The Chivos are back. The Chivos are here, brother. Chivos, público mexicano, aquí están los Chivos de regreso para saludarlos y decirles que los queremos mucho. People, West Covina, we know that we love you, and here we are today to pay a special presentation to a very special man who deserves all the respect. Here's Kayan to introduce this gentleman.
Ladies and gentlemen, a few minutes please to honor a very important person. This person, referee from WWE to EWF, tremendous history. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the one and only, the great, the honest man. I'm talking about Andy Yanez, El Suavecito! And now, representing EWF, Mr. Jesse Hernandez gives us the pleasure to introduce this special plaque for this gentleman who deserves and who's been owning and representing the wrestling, Mexican and American wrestling, El Suavecito. Thank you, Jesse Hernandez, for this opportunity to present this to this honorable moment. Suavecito, you deserve this, and you deserve more, because you've been honoring wrestling for all these years. Thank you very much for being our friend and for being part of West Covina fanhood right here. West Covina loves you, and West Covina respects you. Thank you, Suavecito.
Suavecito, Empire Wrestling Federation, man, we appreciate all your hard work, all your years. Nothing ever goes unnoticed. We love you, brother.
And all this we do for you. Everything that we do it from our hearts for you. All of it. And every time I see a small but full place, my heart fills with joy. And hopefully that all of you young ones You know, don't be, let's put it this way, don't be afraid to step off the bus. When you're gonna get out the bus, take a big stretch, and you go forward, you know, and you feel your dream. And I love all of you. I don't know you, but I love you.
I want to say something on my behalf. You know, this business, I've been in here a lot of years, and you meet a lot of friends, and you have a lot of memories, and those are the things you cherish. And this is one man right here that I have a lot of memories, and it's an honor to be here making tribute to this man. Thank you all.
Well, in case the fans at home are wondering why we are honoring Suavecito for being a manager here in the EWF, that's what he's been known as lately, managing the team of Loyola Del Mal to both their championship title reigns. But that is not all that he has done in this wrestling business. He has been involved in professional wrestling since 1972.
We love you!
You couldn't be more right.
Out there. You know we're back. We're back.
You couldn't be more right, Larry. Not only has he been involved in professional wrestling since 1972, but he is involved in one of the greatest fraternities of all time, and that is the Armed Forces. A U.S. Army veteran, like myself a veteran, only this man served in combat in Vietnam, a true war hero, a true hero to all Mexican Americans, like you and myself, Larry, in the professional wrestling business.
And not only that, once he came back, like I said, broke into professional wrestling in 1972. He was originally a referee. But since then, he went on from being a referee to a promoter, and then on again for a referee. But then again, in Mexicali, he was known as a commissioner, a former commissioner with the Boxing and Wrestling Commission in Mexicali, Mexico. He was responsible for not only sending a lot of American wrestlers down to Mexicali, down to Mexico to get an international break, but he in turn brought a lot of Mexican stars here into the United States as well.
That's right, Larry. He's been in the ring with the likes of El Santo, John Cena, Chris Daniels, Samoa Joe, Dr. Wagner, Neil Mascaras, Los Guapos, Mal Vaughn, Mars Vaughn, Neil Diamond. The list goes on and on. He is a true legend in the professional wrestling business, Larry.
And it was a great night for us to honor him here at a 12-year anniversary extravaganza. The bell has officially sounded. Mars Vaughn trying to get this battle royal underway. The third annual Great Goliath Memorial Battle Royal here tonight at the 12-year anniversary extravaganza. Our third installment of this prestigious battle royal. Lalo Gonzalez, Mike Aguirre joining us at the broadcast.
Well, what is up, Larry Pena? How are you?
I feel pretty great since the band is back together for the moment at least. Our old partner, Matt McIntosh, is in this battle royal, Mike.
That's right, and I'm keeping my eye on him because you can never trust Matt McIntosh. What does he have up? What is he hiding up that kilt? Wow, that was kind of a bad question to ask.
That was a bad question to ask.
I don't know what he's hiding up that kilt, and I don't want to know.
Exactly, I don't want to know either.
I think Lalo's brave enough to find out, though.
I'd rather not find out one way or another. Right now, though, you see all these men that put their hat into the ring are all brave enough to try to win the #1 contendership for the EWF Heavyweight Championship. Of course, we know the Great Goliath Battle Royal, named after the legendary man who trained Jesse Hernandez, the legend himself. The winner has historically gone on to great things. Our very first winner was Cincinnati Red back in 2005. He actually gave his trophy to Paloma, the daughter of Great Goliath. And then last year, Dan the Man Colbert took his shot and won the EWF Heavyweight Championship, defeating Joey Harder and Knockdown Dragout.
And now the question's going to be, who is going to be man enough? Who's going to be strong enough? Who's going to even be lucky enough to win this over the top rope Great Goliath Memorial Battle Royal? So many names here in the EWF. The locker room is practically emptied to compete in this because that is how important this matchup is. I mean, we have newcomers, we have some old veterans, we have present superstars of the EWF. Matt McIntosh, I said he's in this. Rockstar Cordova, Dave the Bruiser, Angelus, Sonny Sampson, Willie Mack.
Hey Larry, and if my eyes deceive me, we have a woman in this matchup, the Monica Nakano.
The Monica Nakano finally in the ring after being at ringside ringside of Dave the Bruiser for so many months. She even wants a shot at the championship.
Well, imagine if she won, Larry. You'd have a woman as the #1 contender for the EWF World Title. I mean, stranger things have happened.
Well, if she's strong enough, she definitely could take the championship away from anybody. Who knows?
If my memory serves me correctly, she is not the first woman to compete in this matchup. I believe Candice LeRae participated in the first Great Goliath Memorial Battle Royal.
That is true. That was 2 years ago, Mike. We were calling the action right here at ringside, and for a I believe Johnny Starr is officially eliminated. I thought he was eliminated from this matchup. Johnny Starr, another name from the past, here tonight. He had lost a Loser Leaves EWF match, but this is one of the rare occasions where Johnny Starr is allowed to come back to compete in the ring. And according to Rick Knox, he was not eliminated.
I don't think he ever got into the ring.
Well, look at you. I'm sorry to cut you off. Look at Vision. Look at Vision finally getting his hands on Matt McIntosh. He's got his hands on Matt McIntosh for the first time in years.
Mercurio Jr. has been eliminated.
And there's our first elimination of the night. I thought Sonny Sampson was eliminated as well, but I believe he went through the bottom rope.
Dropkick Murphy has been eliminated.
And we have another elimination. As I had mentioned before, the locker room is emptied. Competitors of the past, competitors that have already competed on this card are on this line. We have the American champion in there. Vision is in there. Ryan Taylor, former 2-time Cruiserweight champion. He wants a shot at the championship. Angelus, we haven't seen him in a while. He's in this matchup as well.
You wouldn't be involved in professional wrestling if you just wanted to sit and coast by. Every man in this promotion wants to get that EWF Heavyweight Championship wrapped around his waist. I mean, it's been wrapped around the waists of guys like Brandon Nitro Gatson, Dan the Man Colbert, Bino Gambino, and of course, Frankie Kazarian, who we'll see in action later on.
Jeremy Yeager was just eliminated, in case you didn't hear the announcement. Biggie Biggs was just eliminated now. The bodies are starting to empty. Matt McIntosh attacking, trying to choke the life out of Liger Rivera. The Golden Greek was just eliminated, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right, Michael Garrett been gone for a while. Mark Pitsinopoulos, the Golden Greek. He's actually one half of the EPW Tag Team Champions. He came all the way from Australia to be in this Battle Royal, Larry.
Just to be eliminated. Unfortunately, we didn't get a good showing of his potential, but who knows?
Sonny Sampson has been eliminated.
Mondo Vega, one of the other officials out of ringside now. I gotta believe, can we question his integrity in this matchup? I think this is the only matchup that he's allowed to officiate, especially considering that our next event, on May the 18th, if I'm not mistaken, Lalo, he's gonna face Terex.
That he is, May 16th. He's gonna face Terex in a Jesse Hernandez revenge match. And look did you see Mondo Vega actually helping Hook Bomber get back in the Battle Royal?
Hold on, I hate to interrupt, but Matt McIntosh's kilt just flew off.
Now wait a minute.
What's he doing with Liger?
He's using the ring jacket of Liger Rivera as a towel. Wait a minute. He's trying to hide himself.
I don't think that's real camouflage. I don't think that's going to work.
I think he had a little too many beers before this matchup happened.
Well, there's at least 3 bottles on this, and you know that in that kilt of his, he keeps a flask. That little man purse over there.
Now look at that, using that jacket to choke Liger again. The French Stallion is in here as well. He wants a shot. The reigning EWF Tag Team Champions, Lola Domal, are in this as well. As I said before, the locker room is empty. All want a shot at the Heavyweight Championship. All want to be considered the 3rd winner of this Great Goliath Memorial Battle Royal.
Well, look at you see Matt McIntosh just handing off Liger Rivera's lifeless body to Monica Nakano, who just got finished choking him out. And now she's going to handle some business on the other side of the ring.
So much action going on. Wait a minute. I think TJ, Ryan Taylor, and Hook Bomberry are tying up. They were trying to hog tie Johnny Starr.
Well, I heard that scream before. There you see Matt McIntosh getting tossed over, but climbing back in after Willie Mack gets him over the top rope.
Look at so much action going on. Difficult to call all the action happening. I think we may have another. Oh no, DeMonica holding on as she was trying to go through the bottom rope. The middle rope, excuse me. You have to be thrown over the top rope, and both feet must hit the floor in order to be officially eliminated from this matchup. That's why we have to have multiple officials out here at ringside to make sure that all is going well. Although I said before, I still have to question it.
Oh my God, look at that! Country Bear just eliminated Laola Del Mo!
Has been eliminated by Country Bear.
Not just Extreme Loco, not just Black Metal, but Laola Del Mo! And now look at that!
And Mars Vaughn has been eliminated.
Country Bear just pulled down the top rope, and Mars Vaughn took a dive out of ringside.
Willie Mack has been eliminated.
And now Willie Mack has just been eliminated as well. And the French
The
Stallion.
French Stallion has been eliminated.
Angelus is finally.
Country Bear has been eliminated.
Angelus finally eliminated Country Bear after try. We still have Liger Rivera, Matt McIntosh, the Rockstar Cordova, DeMonica Nakano, TJ Perkins, Liger Rivera, Vision.
Larry, excuse me for interrupting, but you don't know, you didn't see it, but Matt McIntosh was hanging on for dear life, and Liger Rivera was almost pushed him off, but Matt Mac was able to hang in there. I can't believe it.
This is longer than he's lasted in last year's Battle Royal as well, Larry.
Bruiser Dave has been eliminated.
Bruiser Dave has just been eliminated.
Angelus has been eliminated.
Hook Bomber and Ryan Taylor acting together as a team, just like they were back at Overkill 3 when they helped Mondo Vega rid EWF of Bino Gambino. Definitely one of the saddest nights in professional wrestling.
You know, Johnny Starr able to hang in this match, and he hasn't been in the EWF for quite some time. Imagine if he won this match.
I think the last time he was here in EWF was at last year's Great Goliath Battle Royal.
Rockstar Cordova has been eliminated.
We have another elimination, definitely winding it down to our final competitors.
DeMonica Nakano has been eliminated.
Mad McIntosh was just eliminated.
Madman McIntosh has just been eliminated.
Well, Larry, this action is getting fast and furious, and you see now the ring is clearing out quickly. We only have Sonny Sampson, Liger Rivera, Handsome Johnny Starr, Vision, TJ Perkins, Hook Bomber, and Ryan Taylor left in this ring.
And we may not have Liger Rivera for much longer. Look at us hanging out on top in the middle rope for dear life. That's some strategy that you have to utilize in this type of a matchup. In a battle royal, it's everything goes. But we have Famous for Fearless, they're still in this together. They can act as a tag team. You have Ryan Taylor, Hook Bomber, who's been teaming up together. Johnny Starr was in the corner, he was in trouble, but Vision inadvertently helped out Johnny Starr.
Yeah, Hook Bomber came from his blind spot and then just delivered a swift kick right to the gut.
Well, you saw a high five there between Johnny Starr and Sexy Sonny Sampson, and let's not forget, I was gonna say we might see a one-time reformation of Star Inc., but Sexy Sonny Sampson had other ideas.
Johnny Starr brought him in to be one of his proteges, and now look at this. Johnny Starr was just eliminated by his own tag team partner.
Has been eliminated.
Sonny Sampson just eliminated Johnny Starr. I think we're down to the final five, it looks like. TJ, thought he was being eliminated. He went under the bottom rope. Spinning wheel kick on to Ryan Taylor. Vision, look at this, went up and over, Hook Bomberry.
The EWF American Champion Vision has just been eliminated.
We're down to the final five. TJ Perkins, Liger Rivera, also known as Famous for Fearless, Ryan Taylor, Hook Bomberry, and Sonny Sampson.
Well, all you Battlestar Galactica fans, you want to know who the final five are? This is them right here in the ring.
I love that show.
Isn't that awesome?
It's a great show. Yeah, it is. That's a great show on Sci-Fi, but this is a great show right here in the middle of the EWF arena, the Knights of Columbus, all in Covina, California.
That's right, because we tell you who the final five are.
Exactly. We don't hold it back for 7 years and have you guess. Right now, you see two of the final five right now trying to eliminate Ryan Taylor and Famous for Fearless, working together as that cohesive team that they have been. And look at Sonny Sampson trying to fight with Hook Bomberry. Test the strength.
And it looks like Sonny Sampson is winning this exchange. Famous for Fearless again, trying to eliminate Ryan Taylor. Wait a minute, TJ Perkins leaping up and over, trying to sandwich Ryan Taylor, inadvertently sandwich his own partner as well. In that exchange, didn't quite get the leap he wanted. Still in control of this matchup. Oh no, wait a minute, Sampson is in one corner. Hook Bomberry's falling in another corner. Ryan Taylor now in the face of, inadvertently in the face of Sonny Sampson. TJ trying to float over. Oh no, wait a minute.
TJ Perkins has just been eliminated.
He tried to float himself over, and that led to his demise in this battle royal. Liger Rivera now on his own. The final four here. Superman battering ram, trying to take out Samson just before he can get back onto his feet. Liger now with another Superman into the corner, this time on a hook. And right now, let's make it a triple.
Well, you know, everybody wants to talk about Iron Man this weekend. Let's not forget about Superman Liger Rivera right there in the middle of that ring.
Look at his flying! Once again, delivering a headbutt, but Sonny Sampson taking an opportunity here to take out Liger Rivera. Sends him in the ropes. It's reversed by Liger, excuse me. And now, wait a minute. Liger has Ryan Taylor. What does he have in store here? All three of them in one corner. There's the Superman again. The Superman one more time.
That is probably the most painful game of dominoes I've ever witnessed.
That was a lot of man in that corner.
You would notice that, wouldn't you, Lala?
You know,
anyway, Larry, you know, I'm sorry to say that this guy has replaced me. You know, I mean, I'm sorry that you have to deal with this week in and week out on a weekly basis.
Well, he has his moments from time to time. And now, wait a minute, here comes a moment. This was going to be a moment for Liger Rivera and Ryan Taylor. Right now, we still have these final four competitors. Maybe not for long. Sonny Sampson, he's going to powerbomb Liger Rivera up and over.
No, Liger Rivera reversed him with a head scissors takeover.
60, Sonny Sampson has been eliminated.
Liger Rivera's feet never touch the floor, which is why he's still in this matchup. 3 contenders are left. One of these individuals will become the #1 contender for the heavyweight championship.
You know, we still see TJ Perkins here at ringside. Referee Christopher Reeve helping him into the back. TJ hit his chest and his ribs right there on those wooden steps of death. They've been really bad today.
And now,
look at this.
Look at this, Ryan Taylor and Hook Bomberry out working as a team, trying to tie up Liger Rivera here. He is in big trouble as you see Hook Bomberry measuring him just so he can stomp away on the exposed abdomen area of Liger Rivera.
You know, in a battle royal, there are no rules. It's kill or be killed. It's every man for himself. And right now, there's no referee to stop this. This is completely legal.
Well, I've been gone for quite a while, but if my notes serve me correctly here, Ryan Taylor and Hook Bomberry have been teaming up in recent months. And so that's an advantage that they have, is they've been able to work in a team. And now, Liger Rivera, it's essentially a 2-on-1 matchup for him.
The odds are not in the favor of Liger Rivera at this opportunity. You got to believe the strategy for Hook and Ryan Taylor is right now eliminate Liger Rivera and then worry about who's going to be the #1 contender later. As this is elimination rules, look at this drop kick to the face after the drop toe hold. Liger Rivera just dead weight for Ryan Taylor to pick him up. Look at this, Liger rolls him up. There's no covers in this matchup. And he inadvertently sent Liger into the abdomen of Hook Bomberry. Slingshot, another drop kick. Just barely grazing Hook Bomberry in that exchange. Ryan Taylor ducked out of the way. Liger looks like he's going to try to eliminate Hook Bomberry. And he does!
Hook Bomberry has just been eliminated.
And then there were 2, and it's Ryan Taylor and Liger Rivera, the final 2 participants left in the 3rd annual Great Goliath Battle Royal.
Ryan Taylor in one corner, Liger Rivera in the other corner, both men exhausted from all the energy they had expressed in this matchup. Liger Rivera, who came so close to becoming one half of the EWF Tag Team Champions here tonight, is going up against a man who is fresh. This was the only matchup he competed in here tonight at the 12-year anniversary Extravaganza. The odds are definitely not in the favor of Liger Rivera, but that's the way he likes it. He's used to being the underdog because he loves to prove everybody wrong. He loves proving that he is the best at his game here in this matchup. He is on the verge of doing so after delivering that headbutt to Ryan Taylor.
Well, fate is a strange mistress, Larry. We've seen these two go at it time and time again for the Cruiserweight title. They were in the very first Fatal 4-Way for the EWF Cruiserweight title. These two have been at each other for years, and how fitting that they become the final 2. And one of these men will become the #1 contender for the EWF Heavyweight Championship.
Beautiful roundhouse kick by Ryan Taylor. Now puts him up on his shoulders. 2 former Cruiserweight champions in the ring right now. two former two-time cruiserweight champions. Ryan Taylor obviously wants to prove that he is the superior cruiserweight in this matchup, possibly even the superior heavyweight. If he wins this battle royal, he can get a shot at a heavyweight championship, as well as Liger Rivera.
Well, another thing that we're forgetting, Larry, is Liger Rivera has already been through hell in a match with Ola Del Mal earlier. So Ryan Taylor, he's the fresh man here.
And he has taken full advantage of that right now, wearing down Liger Rivera. All he has to do now is just pick him up and throw him over the top rope. But he knows that's not going to be an easy task.
You know, well, what's this Bomber still doing here at ringside, by the way?
Well, obviously we remember the partnership they've had here in the EWF. And obviously they want to continue this. And Mondo Vega, of course, is not doing anything to stop it.
And why is he cheering on Ryan Taylor? I just don't get it. I leave for a few months and I come back and Mondo Vega is just like, he's a big jerk.
Well, if it weren't for Ryan Taylor, we wouldn't have a Mondo Vega here in the EWF anymore.
Jawbreaker by Liger Rivera.
After that, Ryan Taylor might not have any teeth anymore.
Coming off the rope for more leverage. Side head scissors, satellite head scissors takeover. Ryan Taylor going up and over. And now wait a minute. The official's checking to make sure if his feet hit the floor.
What is that? Mondo Vega just acted like a stool. And look at, there goes Liger Rivera. But look at Liger Rivera holding on.
Look at this, bringing himself back into the ring. Ryan Taylor doesn't realize he has not won this match yet. Liger Rivera is still in this. He's hiding from him just so he can catch him by surprise. Sets him up into the corner now. We've seen this a number of times. Thought he was going to go for the Superman. Wait a minute, lands on the apron, feet first. He went up and over, ladies and gentlemen. If he gets knocked up, he will officially be eliminated. And now, wait a minute. He's going to go for the shock and awe. Mondo Vega holding on to the leg of Liger Rivera. He saw what was coming. He's holding on to Liger's leg for dear life. Roundhouse kick. And sets him up, spinning back heel kick. Liger's dead weight on the ropes. Super kick. He can't get him off the ropes. Oh, and he finally drops.
Here is your winner and the #1 contender for the EWF Heavyweight Championship, Ryan Taylor!
Once again, Mondo Vega has screwed another life in the EWF.
Ryan Taylor is the third winner of the third annual Great Goliath Memorial Battle Royal.
Not only did he screw Bino Gambino.
Here to present the honorary plaque for winning the Great Goliath Memorial Battle Royal is Mr. Jesse Hernandez.
Not only did he screw Bino Gambino back at Overkill last time here at the Knights of Columbus Hall, he now screwed Liger Rivera's chance at capturing the heavyweight championship.
This is a ridiculous alliance here, Larry. No way should they be allowed to have this kind of power. I mean, you're talking about the senior official in the EWF being on the same side as a competitor in the EWF. Not just one, but two.
Oh no, wait a minute. Jesse Hernandez getting the microphone.
I gotta say, man, the Great Goliath has got to be turning his leg right now, man. Of the way this guy won that plaque.
He's not too happy with the way Ryan Taylor won this.
I'm not done with you, brother. I got big plans for you. Just be careful.
Liger Rivera.
I want to remind everybody that on the 16th of this month, you are wrestling Terex. Terex, that's right. Friday, May 16th, man. Don't forget, keep that on your calendar, pal.
Friday, May 16th, our next event. Mondo Vega was reminded he's got to go one-on-one with the definition of pain, Terex.
Well, regardless of what he's got to do next week, right now you're looking at the winner of the third annual Great Goliath Battle Royal in Ryan Taylor.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, accompanied in the ring by his manager, C. Edward Vanderpyle. Weighing in at 215 pounds. From Los Angeles, California, Joey Ryan. weighing in at 225 pounds from Anaheim, California. You know him as Kaz from Total Non-Stop Action Professional Wrestling, but the EWF will always know him as Frankie the Future Kazarian!
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to talk about the history of the EWF, you want to talk about the 12-year legacy of the School of Hard Knocks, you are definitely taking a look at two members of that legacy in the ring right now, legends in their own right. The future Frankie Kazarian, also known as Kaz on Total Non-Stop Action, going up against former one-half of the NWA World Tag Team Champions, Joey Ryan.
You know, Larry Pena, it's not often that I get to say this, but this is a true treat, just like I am sure it is for you. We're calling a match between Joey Ryan, a former World Tag Team Champion, and Frankie Kazarian. This is going to be one of the best memories I'm ever going to have in professional wrestling.
They meet collar and elbow into the center of the ring, trying to jock each other for position, and no one could get a decisive advantage, forcing themselves to break the hold.
You know, for those of you that weren't here in attendance at the fight before Christmas back in 2007, December 23rd, if I'm not mistaken, these two actually had words in the middle of that ring, Larry.
Well, that is very true, they did. Frankie Kazarian was up here at the broadcast position for a while. There was a heated exchange inside the ring when Jesse Hernandez decided to honor some of the other legacies, some of the other alumni graduates from the School of Hard Knocks. And Joey Ryan felt that he was above all of them. He felt that they were all beneath him. And what did they all do? They all took turns taking shots on the face of Joey Ryan.
Well, now you see Joey Ryan taking his turn with Kaz in the corner, just working him over with that boot right in the face, across the jaw and across the throat.
And not to say that you were wrong, Lalo, but that was on December 21st.
But not to say that I'm wrong.
Not to say that you're wrong, no. But it was a fight before Christmas.
Well, look at Frankie Kazarian showing off his athleticism, proving why he is one of the best around in the world today.
Great spinning wheel kick by Kaz, Frankie Kazarian, to knock him down, and another shot to knock down Joey Ryan one more time. You know, it's been a while since we've seen Frankie Kazarian in an EWF ring. The last time he competed in the Knights of Columbus Hall in this Squirrel Circle was 2 years ago at the 10th year anniversary extravaganza when he went one-on-one with Mr. Match of the Night, Jason King, and a great match as part of the main event for that show.
Well, you know, Frankie Kazarian actually stops by the School of Hard Knocks every now and again, and he talks about loyalty. He talks about remembering your roots, and he is sure doing that today by competing here against none other than Joey Ryan. Look at that reverse atomic drop right in the middle of the ring.
And now look at Vanderpyle holding onto the leg of Frankie Kazarian. Frankie now going after Vanderpyle. This is what Vanderpyle wants him to do. He wants him to chase him around so Joey Ryan can get a cheap shot in, as he just did, sending him ribs first into the ring apron. And it's not as if that ring apron is padded. That ring apron is solid steel. That apron is what's holding up the foundation of this ring.
Well, you know, Vanderpyle is going to do anything that he possibly needs to do in order to secure a victory for one of his boys. Be it Joey Ryan, be it Carl Machine Gun Anderson, who's in New Japan right now, or Scrap Iron Adam Pearce, our NWA World Heavyweight Champion. No matter what he needs to do, he's going to get it done in order to get the W in the column of his boys.
Lord knows he tried. Back on track when Joey Ryan challenged Brandon Nitro Gatson for the Heavyweight Championship. And now look at this, Frankie Kazarian delivering a dropkick right across the chest. You know, it's hard for me to say Vino Gambino now that he's no longer here with us.
That it is. You know, what's hard for Frankie Kazarian to do is breathe right now. You saw him favoring his ribs as you see Rick Knox going down for a 2 count only. And he's still favoring those ribs after that shot he took by Joey Ryan into the ring apron.
Frankie now bringing up Joey Ryan back onto his feet. You know, he wanted to do this, Tim, back at the fight before Christmas. Unfortunately, he only got a little sample. Here tonight, 12-year anniversary extravaganza. He's getting the full package here on Joey Ryan. And now look at this, Joey Ryan shoving Rick Knox into the ropes. Wait a minute, Vanderpyle wanting us to make sure that we announce that Joey Ryan is the best around. Well, I think Frankie Kazarian has something else to say about that.
Well, that he does right now. Joey Ryan proving that he has some smarts to him, though, shoving Rick Knox right into those ropes, knocking Kaz down on the ground, and it's still bothering Kaz. His ribs are still in a lot of pain after taking that shot at the ring apron, and then the one right now off the ropes.
Now look at this, going back to work on the ribs that he injured earlier. And we don't know exactly the full extent of the damage of Frankie Kazarian. He could have a broken rib floating into his abdomen right now. We don't know. That broken rib could be puncturing a lung. And we don't know. Again, only Frankie Kazarian knows. Joey Ryan, wait a minute. Look at this Frankie landing on his feet, coming out of the corner. Trying to fight back for dear life as he's gasping for air. Sends him into the ropes, and now look at this. Going chest first into that top corner post.
So Frankie had a little bit of offense going there, but Joey Ryan killed that momentum right then and there by getting him chest first into the turnbuckle post. And now look at him. Look at him with that submission maneuver right there, just wearing down Kaz.
That's a variation of the abdominal stretch, a sit-down version, applying more pressure to that abdomen area. You gotta believe whatever injury that's favoring Frankie Kazarian right now is being aggravated to great pain here, courtesy of Joey Ryan.
Well, there you see NWA official Rick Knox right there, making sure that everything's nice and legal, checking to see if Kaz is going to give up. But you got to believe that Kaz is not going to, he's not going to come home to the EWF just to give up.
That is definitely not true. Frankie Kazarian, he has been around the world. He has seen it all. He's held championships virtually everywhere he's gone. Wrestled internationally. In Japan, wrestled in Europe, wrestled in Australia. And here he is, facing Joey Ryan. Another man who wants to make an international name for himself.
We know Joey Ryan has wrestled in Australia. He has wrestled in Europe. He's wrestled all over the place, just like Frankie Kazarian.
And Joey Ryan knows that a victory over Frankie Kazarian will definitely make a better name for himself, not only here in EWF, but in the entire National Wrestling Alliance.
Look at that! Look how disgusting Daniel Bryan is! He is choking out Kaz at ringside.
Well, we've said it before. He does everything that he can in his power to help his man. And he tried his best at Back on Track. But unfortunately, Brandon Gatson was able to get the job done. Unfortunate for Vanderpyle and Joey Ryan, I mean.
That he was. Is he going to be able to get the job done later on the night, though, Larry? You got a 2 out of 3 falls match featuring Scorpio Sky and Brandon Gatson. But that's later on the night. Right now, we have Kaz and Joey Ryan in the middle of our ring. Kaz trying to fight back with everything he's got.
And Joey Ryan going back to the work on the ribs, the injured ribs that he injured earlier. But look at this. Could we see an adrenaline rush happening for Frankie Kazarian? And that is why he's getting this up. Oh, no, wait a minute. That adrenaline rush was just put to a screeching halt.
That's right, that running knee strike did some more damage, and now look at Joey Ryan cinching in that body scissors, trying to wear down Frankie Kazarian and aggravate that rib injury even more.
Now, normally on a normal human being, this maneuver would just be considered a wear-down hold, but considering the state of the ribs of Frankie Kazarian, this move can be a submission. We can see a submission victory right here by Joey Ryan. Right now, Frankie Kazarian, he is not moving. Oh, he's trying to move. Almost went down before referee Rick Knox decided to call this match over. Frankie trying to break the hold. You can see Joey Ryan desperately trying to get a hold onto him. Kazarian now trying to fight back. But look at this, pulls him down by the hair. Joey Ryan definitely used to taking shortcuts whenever he can. I wouldn't say that's the mark of a champion, but that is the mark of an opportunist.
That it is right now. Joey Ryan seeking out every opportunity he can to get the victory in this match. And there you see a nice abdominal stretch. Look at the placement Joey Ryan has Kaz in. He's right in the middle of the ring. Kaz can't reach for the ropes. He can't go anywhere. He is stuck right in the middle. It's going to take nothing but sheer willpower in order to get out of the submission maneuver.
And he has a cinch right in the center of the ring. Frankie Kazarian has nowhere to go at this point. He could be passing out from the pain, it looks like.
Well, there's NWA official Rick Knox already saying that's 2.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Frankie's not done yet.
No, he's not. He's fighting back now. He might be feeling a little bit of adrenaline. Look at that.
Hip tossing. Joey Ryan to break the hold. Kazarian trying to gasp for air. Ducks the clothesline. Ducks the back elbow. Wait a minute. Wraps around, takes him down. Beautiful clothesline. A wraparound DDT maneuver. Great move on the part of Frankie Kazarian.
And now both men are down in the ring. Rick Knox going for the 10 count, already up to 3.
Normally this could be a pinfall for Frankie Kazarian, but because of the energy he has spent in this matchup, because of the injury to the ribs, he can't fully capitalize. He's trying to suck in as much air as he can.
Look at him, he's barely breathing at all, Larry. I don't know if he's gonna be able to make it through this.
Look at this, ducks the punch, delivers an uppercut of his own, delivering another shot. Look at this, trying to fight back with one hand while trying to hold his ribs with the other. Sends him in, it's reversed by Ryan. Look at his flying five arm. Knocks him down again, this time with a back elbow. Beautiful single leg drop kick, knocks him down once again. Frankie Kazarian now, thus far in control. But he's taking a little time away from Joey Ryan. He has to stay on top of him. Injured ribs and all. Scoop and a slam. You gotta believe that took a lot out of him. Slingshot and a leg drop. This might be it here. Catching him in the rib section now. 1, 2. And he only gets a 2 count. Vanderpool trying to provide a distraction for Rick Knox. Rick Knox, the official for this contest, calling it right down the middle. Focusing on the action in the ring, as all referees should be doing. Oh, now wait a minute. Oh, I thought this match was going to be over here. Frankie now with a waistlock. Joey Ryan reversing it with a waistlock of his own. Try to go for the victory roll, was blocked. Single leg drop kick one more time. This time connects flush across the face.
And then we see the cover. There's 1, 2. Oh, over so close. Rick Knox signaling for a 2 count only.
Frankie Kazarian came so close to putting away Joey Ryan in this, his homecoming match at the Knights of Columbus Hall.
Look at Frankie looking at the crowd saying, what do I gotta do? How am I supposed to get the victory here over Joey Ryan, who's proven to be an extremely resilient competitor?
Well, I thought he was gonna go for, I believe, what's called the future shock. Joey Ryan blocking it, realizing that could be a coup de grace move, and delivers a beautiful power bomb in the center. And Frankie still managed to kick out. The double underhook. Try to go for the Tiger Driver, and this time dropping him in a backbreaker. And then it follows it up with a drop kick. There's another cover. And he gets a 2 count again. And look at this Vanderpool arguing with Rick Knox, saying that should have been a 3.
No matter what you say to the referee, you're not going to change his mind. You're not going to reverse his decision.
Look at this, it's a race to see who can get back onto their feet now. Joey Ryan charging after Frankie. Frankie ducks out of the way. So holding on, slingshot, DDT coming back into the ring. That could be it. He drilled him in the head first into the canvas. And he gets a 2 count despite the impression of Joey Ryan's head in our canvas.
This has been one of the most exciting matches that I've seen in recent memory, Larry. This is going back and forth, left and right. Look at Frankie Kazarian telling Joey Ryan, come on. I think he's going to want a left shot in him for it.
Wait a minute, try to go for it again. Joyce again blocks it, takes him down with a spear.
Again, damage to those ribs, Larry. That spear knocked the wind out of Frankie Kazarian, who's barely able to stand, barely able to sit.
And look at this, kicks him in the side of the head, delivers a super kick right across the chest. There's a cover, will this be enough? No, Frankie says no, not yet. Frankie still has a lot left in him.
But how much after that super kick, Larry?
Definitely not as much as before, that is for sure. It's only a matter of time now. Joey Ryan, he could be one high impact move away from putting away Frankie Kazarian. However, Frankie, at the same right, could be one move away from putting this match away. And he may have just done it. Future shock, hooks the leg. Will this be it? And
What the hell is that? What the hell is that?
Vanderpool saw the moment slipping away for Joey Ryan. Did the only thing he could do, and that's pull the referee out of the harm's way.
That is just garbage. That is garbage. Frankie Kazarian had this match won. And Vanderpool just pulled the referee out of the way.
Frankie was just robbed of this matchup. Joey Ryan, look at this, a low blow. Rick Knox nowhere to be found on that. That move could have been a disqualification. It probably should have. And now wait a minute, Joey Ryan sets him up. Kick to the side of the head again. Went for the super kick. Leg sweep by Frankie. Wait a minute, kicks him off. Small package, hooks him. Only got a 1 count in the center. Went for the clothesline. Here comes a victory roll-up perhaps. Throws him over. Frankie gets a 1, he gets a 2, and a kick out. Look at this, a chair shot by Vanderpool. 1, 2, 3 after the schoolboy. Oh, come on.
Here is your winner, Joey Ryan.
That is absolutely despicable. Vanderpool Kazarian with a shot to the head from that steel chair, Larry.
Vanderpool once again prevails for his man, Joey Ryan, suffering a loss of Brandon Gatson, and back on track. Here tonight, he avenged that loss by picking up a victory over international superstar and TNA superstar, Frankie Kazarian.
Tonight, it all comes down to this. 2 out of 3 falls. The EWF Championship on the line. Brandon, I've had nothing but you on my mind for 2 whole weeks. I couldn't even sleep last night. I kept thinking about being 16 years old and riding in that car with you to training at EWF. Both of us with dreams of being champions one day. Our roads split, but now they've come back. And you and I are friends, inside and outside of the ring. Until 2 weeks ago, when you laid me out with that super kick. Bam! And all the lights go out. But Brandon, I'm glad you did it. And I know why you did it. Because in this sport, it's not about what kind of friends you make. It's the legacy you leave. And that legacy is embedded in the EWF Heavyweight Championship. I've been all around the world. I've done a lot of things, but I have never won the big one. Tonight, Brandon, you are the big one. And you stand there with the championship and you say, you want it? Come and get it. I want it. I can feel it. I can taste it. And as God is my witness, I'm rolling in here as the #1 contender, as the #1 guy, and I am rolling out the best, the king of the jungle, the Empire Wrestling Federation heavyweight champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, your main event match is scheduled for 2 out of 3 falls. Introducing first, the challenger, weighing in at 182 pounds, from the City of Angels, he is Scorpio Sky! And his opponent, weighing in at 215 pounds, from Mesa, Arizona, he is the EWF Heavyweight Champion, Brandon Nitro Gatson!
In the 12 years of history of EWF, there has never been a main event that has been more important, that has been more talked about in this sport, in this industry of professional wrestling. Scorpio Sky, Brandon Gatson, former friends, former trainees at the School of Hard Knocks, now are in the ring yet again, this time 2 out of 3 falls for the heavyweight championship. And you see Rick Knox, the official for this contest, going over the rules of the matchup.
You know, look at the focused look on Scorpio Sky's face. He has not blinked, I don't think, since he stepped into that ring. He has got the ice cold stare going right through Brandon Gatson. And there's the bell, Larry.
This matchup is underway. As I said before, this is probably the most important matchup in the 12-year history of the EWF. And there's been a lot of great superstars that have made their way into EWF. I mean, former X Division champion Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, who we just saw, WWE Women's Champion Melina, all have made their way into the EWF. And for Scorpio Sky and Brandon Gatson, I gotta believe that they are overshadowing their legacy here in this matchup tonight.
Well, there you see both of them just stuck in that head and arm collar tie-up, just working each other all the way around the ring. Neither one of them getting a distinct advantage. That Rick Knox finally had to say, break it up, let's start over again.
I mean, 9 years ago, Brandon Gatson, Scorpio Sky, trained together at the School of Hard Knocks. They had made their names for themselves in tag team matches and with tag teams like TNT and the Aerial Express. Scorpio Sky with his partner Quicksilver. Brandon Gatson with his partner Johnny Dynamite. Both of them, both teams got their training started here at the School of Hard Knocks for the EWF, and we all know the legacy. We all know what accomplishments both tag teams have made, and we know what accomplishments both these singles wrestlers have made since breaking away from their tag team partners. Scorpio Sky, a multiple-time champion in the tag team division, in the light heavyweight division, junior heavyweight division. And out of all the times that out of all the championships he has held, he has yet to get to the top of the mountain. He has yet to reach the pinnacle of his career by becoming the heavyweight champion.
Well, you know, you want to talk about pinnacles of careers. Brandon Gatson made it to the top. He is the top man here in the EWF, and he does not want to let go of that spot. He has held that EWF championship and defended it with great honor. He said it was a privilege to be the champion, and look at these two. They're at a standoff.
This is similar to the way they wrestled each other in the Inland Title Series, when we just got a taste of what these two can do in the first round. And then in the tiebreaker, the final round, one of the best matches of 2007 in EWF. The fight before Christmas. These guys put it all in the ring. They left nothing behind because they wanted to become the #1 contender for the heavyweight championship. Since then, the rest has been history. Brandon Gatson defeated Bino Gambino for that championship. Scorpio Sky has been in an uphill battle to become the #1 contender once again, especially after facing all odds after being injured with injured ribs courtesy of Terex and Dan Kobrick.
You know, you want to talk about his #1 contendership. He had to go through Dan the Man Kobrick and Terex in order to get this shot. And he said, cover. Well, we almost had our first fall there, Larry.
And now, wait a minute. Here comes another roll-up. Gatson almost getting the second win. Wait a minute. A super kick. Scorpio Sky quickly ducking out of the super kick. And you see Gatson saying, hey, I came that close.
And he sure did, Larry. He was that close to ending this first fall.
Scorpio Sky felt that super kick not too long ago. He does not want to feel that super kick once again. Look at this. They're fighting each other in the center, training each other blow for blow now in the center. Gatson now fighting back, firing back. Sends him into the ropes. It's reversed by Sky. Sky with a flying back elbow. Sky measuring him again, knocks him down with a clothesline. Sets him up, going for a backdrop suplex perhaps, and he connects. Sky now going for the cover, hooks a leg, and he gets a 2 count.
You know, these two are, you know, they may not be the best of friends anymore to that super kick, but they were tight. I mean, these guys were almost like brothers before that unfortunate super kick incident last week. They know each other like the back of each other's hands. This is going to be a struggle tonight in order to get these two falls to get the EWF championship.
Look at this, a short arm scissors by Scorpio Sky after the hip toss follow-up. Trying to pick a body part, going to work on Gatson. Wait a minute, Gatson rolls him up. Gets a 2 count. Sky still holding on to the short arm scissors. Sky remembers that not too long ago it was Joey Ryan who challenged Brandon Gatson for the championship, and what did he do the entire match? He went after the arm of Brandon Gatson. Definitely these two are not going to leave anything behind in this matchup. You said it, Lalo, that they know each other like the back of their hands. They both know their strengths, they both know their weaknesses. We still have to wonder if Scorpio Sky is fully healed from his rib injury. No, ribs take a very long time to heal. At least months. Scorpio Sky was out for 2 to 3 weeks before he finally got back in the ring, and I still have to question that call. There's a cover again, and we get a 2 count after that drop kick.
You know, all that damage was done by Terex and Dan the Man Kobrick. You know that you don't take 385 pounds to the rib and just heal overnight. You know eventually that that is going to come into play when it comes down to stamina, and this is what this match is all about. Stamina, 2 out of 3 falls. There could be a total of 3 falls in this match. And look at that!
Takes him down with the STO. But Gatson not going for the cover. Taking a little too much time to go for that cover. Look at this, pounding on the head of Scorpio Sky. I think that might be a little unnecessary. Gatson now going for the cover.
I agree with you, Larry. I mean, if he'd have went for the cover after that STO, we might have had the first fall over with already.
Gatson now picking up Scorpio Sky. Looks like he's going to go for a suplex attempt. Nice snap suplex. And Gatson again slow over to the cover, but he gets a 2 count again.
You know, we talked a little bit ago, Larry, about that super kick that Sky received from Brandon Gatson. None of us even really know still to this day why Brandon Gatson gave him that super kick. You know, I tried talking to Brandon Gatson earlier. He had nothing to say to me. He was so focused that he locked himself in the locker room to get that little bit of extra mental edge. Then he's going over a cover, only getting a 2 count though.
Well, Scorpio Sky is not going to go down that easily, not here in the first fall. He has a lot of fight in him. I've been there since Scorpio Sky's debut in 2002. I've seen what this young man can do. I've seen him mature over the years as a tag team wrestler, as a champion. I know the full extent of his ability. All he's ever needed was a chance to shine. EWF has given him that chance to shine here tonight on the grandest stage for EWF, the 12-year anniversary show. Scorpio Sky trying to get back up onto his feet. Gatson trying to hold on. But look at Sky fighting back. Turning to hold around, and he does. Wrenching back on the arms. Trying to hyperextend the elbows. Again, more damage was done to the arm, but look at that. A swift kick to the ribs there. But a single leg drop kick by Scorpio Sky knocks him down. I think Sky was surprised with that shortcut kick that Brandon Gatson utilized. Look at this, the flying firebomb out of nowhere by Sky. And this is still the first fall, ladies and gentlemen. We still have 2 falls to go after this. Scorpio Sky now pushed up on the top, on the middle ropes. He's measuring him here. Sunset flip. Could we see the cover? Wait a minute, holds on. Another sunset flip for a good measure. And he gets a 2 count.
Well, there you see Scorpio Sky's finally starting to get a little frustrated here. He went for a sunset flip, reversed it, and then got into another sunset flip, only to get a 2 count. And now look at what's he doing, Larry?
I think he's trying to go for the ace of spades now. Has him up on his shoulders and drops him in the ace of spades. Hooks the leg. 1, 2, this could be it. No, Gatson kicks out.
That is an absolutely devastating maneuver, Larry. For someone to kick out of that is remarkable. But you see the damage has been done to Brandon Gatson. Now Scorpio Sky going to the top rope. We all know that he can fly. For God's sakes, he was part of the assault. What's he going to do from the top rope?
He's measuring him here. Perched up on the top rope. Gatson taking an awful long time to get back up after getting hit with the ace of spades. The Sky could jump whenever he wants, but he's measuring him for that one chance, that one opportunity. That's all he's asking for. That's all he's waiting for. Flying crossbody, he connects perfectly, hooks the leg, and we almost had the first fall.
Brandon Gatson actually broke up the count himself. He just threw his arm right in front of Rick Knox, kicked his shoulder up, and then he sees Scorpio Sky now arguing with Rick Knox about that.
Now look at this, Gatson, super kick. The super kick connects. 1, 2, and 3. Gatson, the heavyweight champion, gets the first fall in this matchup.
The winner of your first fall, Brandon Nitro Gatson.
Well, Brandon Gatson just super kicked Scorpio Sky yet again. I'd be getting sick and damn tired of getting super kicked by this guy. But, you know, after that super kick, you scored the first fall. He is only 1 more fall away from defending his EWF championship here at the 12th anniversary show, Larry.
We've seen him knock out a number of competitors with that super kick.
Hold on, I hate to cut you off. What's he doing? He's just staring at Sky again. He had that same look on his face when he kicked him the first time.
Now wait a minute, he wants the fans to get behind Scorpio Sky, who's struggling to get back to his feet. I wouldn't be surprised if he suffered a mild concussion after that kick, at the least a mild concussion.
What's Gatson doing though? He's not even trying to engage Scorpio Sky in any kind of maneuver or anything.
Now wait a minute.
He does.
He kicked him while he was still on his knees. He kicked him from behind. That is very uncharacteristic of Brandon Gatson.
I would expect something like that from Matt McIntosh, but not Brandon Gatson.
The Brandon Gatson that I know, that you know as well, Lalo, he's a stand-up man. He'll take it to you, right to your face.
Well, now look at him. He's actually choking out Scorpio Sky on the ropes.
But wait a minute. Again, this is uncharacteristic of Brandon Gatson.
You think maybe it's the title? Maybe he's so crazy about the title that he's willing to do anything to keep it, Larry.
I mean, you think about the schedule that Brandon Gatson has had week after week. He has been defending that championship against all comers. I mean, we can write up a list here if we had time. Scott Loss, Terex, Dan Kobrick, Bino Gambino, Scorpio Sky. Sometimes you put them all in the ring at one time as well. Fatal 4-way elimination matches, triple threat matches. This man has done it. This man has defended against all comers. And you have to wonder what that kind of schedule can do to a man. After a while, he realizes he has to do try some other tactics in order to hold on to the championship.
Where now Sky, look at that, finally getting some kind of offense going after being punished by Brandon Gatson. He just floored the champion with a series of right hands.
Well, Scorpio Sky's got to pull out of the reserve. He's in an all-or-nothing situation. Spinning wheel kick by Gatson almost took Sky's head off. The same way he took the head off of Scorpio Sky with that super kick.
But you see Gatson hesitating for some reason. He didn't go over to Sky and try to finish him off right away, but look at that! Sent Sky up and over to the outside.
Clotheslining him over the top rope, landing on the floor. Brandon Gatson, you gotta believe he wants to put this match away. All he has to do is beat him one more time in the center of that ring. Scorpio Sky is in a do-or-die situation. He needs to pick up this fall in order to stay alive in the contest.
Well, there you see Rick Knox right now. He's on the out. He's making the 10 count. Look at Gatson. He's saying stop. Don't count anymore.
He doesn't want a count-out win. He wants to pin Scorpio Sky in the center of the ring. The Gatson that I know, he would never take a count-out or disqualification victory.
Well, there you see him now working over Scorpio Sky on the outside of the ring. Our referee, NWA official Rick Knox, getting the 10 count to 4 already.
Look at this now, throwing Scorpio Sky back into the ring. All he has to do now is go for the cover. 1, 2, and Sky kicks out at 2.
I'm still kind of befuddled by what Gatson's mindset is right now. They see him go for another cover, almost retain his championship. I mean, he stopped Rick Knox from making that count out. He was just walking around and letting Sky almost get his breath back and get back into this thing. And now you see him working a submission maneuver on Scorpio Sky in the middle of the ring.
Well, if this is the same Gatson that I know, he wants Scorpio Sky at his best because he doesn't want Sky to give any excuses and say, hey, the only reason why you beat me was because I was hurt. He may be hurt still after the ribs injury that he suffered not too long ago, but Scorpio Sky, look at this, fighting back in this now, pulling out of the reserve again. He's got to have at least 2 or 3 reserve tanks. Hammering away on Mr. 300%. Brandon Gatson breaks the hold. Gatson trying to fight back. Look at this. Both men are staggered. They're dazed and confused. Taking shots to the head. You know, after a while, this can make you dizzy. This can make you groggy. This can make you confused. It may make you do things you normally don't do.
Well, they see Gatson actually hitting his knee. And look at Scorpio Sky.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Putting a pair of knees up. Another uncharacteristic move of Scorpio Sky, but effective nonetheless.
Well, Scorpio Sky knows that he is one pinfall away from losing his chance at becoming the EWF Heavyweight Champion, and he's going to do whatever he's got to do, Larry, in order to put that belt around his waist.
Rick Knox delivering the 10 count. He's at 6, but he's doing it very, very slowly because he does not want to have to call this match over on a double knockout. That would favor the champion. We want a decisive winner. We want a decisive fall. Scorpio Sky now trying to chop him in the corner. It's Gatson barely able to stand in the corner. Sky barely able to stand as well. Another chop into the chest in the corner.
Look at that. He actually lifted Gatson up with that chop onto the top rope. And now look at him pounding away to Brandon Gatson while he's perched up on the top rope.
The fans behind Scorpio Sky, as they normally would be. Look at this, a kick to the back.
Right into the kidney area of Brandon Gatson, who's now perched perilously on that rope.
Oh, now look at this. He's going to try to bring him back into the ring the hard way. Sky now coming off the ropes. Wrap around, DDT connects. Sky hooks the leg. Will this be it to get the second fall? No, Gatson says no.
That was about a millimeter away from sending this into a third fall, Larry. But you know you gotta trust NWA official Rick Knox. Rick Knox has been all over. He's been around for a long, long time. I know I looked up to Rick Knox when I started refereeing here when now you see Scorpio Sky. He's stalking Brandon Gatson. He's stalking him. Look at that. He's like a wild animal in the wilderness stalking his prey.
Oh, wait a minute. We could see the final answer here. He's measuring for it. I've seen him use this before. He gets victory. Oh, wait a minute. Going back up on the shoulders for the ace of spades. Gatson trying to fight it, and he does. Wrap around reversal by Sky. Hooks him. This could be it. There it is. The final answer. 1, 2. And he gets a 2 count. I've seen this man win championships with that move, and he could not put away Brandon Gatson.
Scorpio Sky is throwing every single thing he has in his arsenal of Brandon Gatson, and yet we still haven't seen a pinfall by Scorpio Sky. Yet we've seen one by Brandon Gatson after that devastating super kick.
Wait a minute, Scorpio Sky now trying to strike up here. Looks like he's measuring him one more time. Gatson again, desperately trying to get back up to his feet. Sky just stalking his prey, like you said earlier, like a wild animal. Measuring him for that one opportune moment. It worked earlier. Wait a minute, went first. A roundhouse kick was blocked by Gatson. Gatson now, wait a minute, got caught. No, he caught a power slam after that springboard off the middle ropes. Goes for the cover. Gatson will try to go for the second fall, try to retain here. The second fall not awarded yet.
That wasn't even like a real cover. Brandon Gatson just literally fell on top of him. I think that these guys are bordering on the edges, on the borders of exhaustion here, Larry. I don't know how much each of these guys has left.
But these two definitely expend a lot of energy in the earlier fall. We still have this second fall to go. Sky, as I said before, he needs this fall. He needs to win this in order to have a chance at the championship.
We got Brandon Gatson delivering a knee right to the ribs again of Scorpio Sky. Did you notice that sent him down like a sack of potatoes, Larry?
Now look at sending him into the corner. Gatson sending Sky. No, it's reversed by Sky. Sky trying to fight back with all the heart that he has left in him. Super kick again! Takes his head off and takes him off the top rope. Brandon Gatson does not want to be denied. He wants to put away Scorpio Sky for a third time in the EWF.
Well, there you see Rick Knox is now making the 10 count. I wonder if Brandon Gatson's going to stop him this time, Larry.
If I was Gatson, I wouldn't mind taking the count-out fall after this. I wouldn't be surprised if Sky would be out and we need to get him on a stretcher. We may need to get him to the hospital.
Well, there you see Brandon Gatson rolling out of the ring. What's going on? Why would he do that?
He rolled out of the ring to break the count. He's trying to go after... Wait a minute. He wanted to make sure that he broke the count. Rick Knox now has to start all over.
Brandon Gatson looks a little groggy. I don't think he knows exactly where he's at right now. He might be not thinking with a... He's not working with a full deck right now, Larry. He's about 4 sandwiches short of a picnic, I think.
Wait a minute.
Dead weight. What's this? Scorpio Sky's not moving.
Scorpio Sky. Look at this. Gatson again breaks the count. He could have put Scorpio Sky away. Scorpio Sky is dead weight. He is not getting up.
He just stomped on Scorpio Sky with everything he has in the kidneys, and he didn't even flinch. Only now is he starting to move. Brandon Gatson finally said, screw it, he's back in the ring. Wait, knocks up to 5.
Scorpio Sky is inching to get back up onto his feet. Rick Knox is already at 7. Sky, get in the ring. Sky, get in the ring before you lose this fall. He is slowly getting, and he's finally back in the ring.
Barely beat the count of 10. Scorpio Sky dragged himself by the finger, and now look at him. He dragged himself by the fingernails. She's crawling to Brandon Gatson, saying, come on, come at me, fight me. I'm not going to give up. You're not beating me that easily. Look at him.
Well, granted, he needed to take the full 9 count to try to get some air back into his lungs, to try to clear the cobwebs. And he's asking for Gatson to hit him. He's asking for more.
But did you see the head?
Look at this. He was playing possum. Rolls him up. He gets the second fall. Scorpio Sky just gets the second fall.
Here's Scorpio Sky.
Sky was playing possum.
Tied at 1 fall apiece, and we enter sudden death.
This is the third and deciding fall. Sudden death overtime for these individuals. And by I mean sudden death, I mean this match will continue until there is a pinfall or a submission in that ring.
Look at Scorpio Sky. He's looking dead at Brandon Gatson right in the eye. Brandon Gatson looking back at him, saying, putting one finger up, saying, we got 1 fall left. Let's go at it. Let's give everything we possibly have. They're not going to leave anything on the table. They're not going to leave anything in that ring.
The Ace Crusher!
There's the Ace Crusher!
He normally would go for the cover after that Ace Crusher. Brandon Gatson trying to fight back with all that intensity that we are used to seeing from Brandon Gatson, and it was all taken away with 1 Ace Crusher.
Well, there you see Scorpio Sky I don't know if he was playing possum there. He might have just had a boost of adrenaline, but he is still on Dream Street. He's literally slapping himself in the face, trying to get himself back into this, trying to get himself back over to make that cover.
I've seen this man get dropped on his head numerous of times. I've seen Brandon Gatson fight through hell and back. And I can safely say that tonight, these two have walked into the gates of hell, but only one of them is going to walk away with the championship.
Well, there you see Brandon Gatson pounding away, but look at that beautiful kick!
Here's a Gary by Scorpio Sky out of nowhere, hooks the leg, and he gets the 2 count.
I had my finger on the trigger there, ready to ring this bell. I really thought that was it. And now look at Scorpio Sky, fighting with a new tenacity, fighting with new intensity, sending Brandon Gatson up and over the top.
Whoa, forearm shot, knocks off Gatson, similar to the way Gatson knocked off Sky earlier. And Gatson, I think, went head first into some chairs at ringside.
Brandon Gatson is not moving. He is right in front of the commentary table, Larry, right at the bottom of the stage. He has not moved since he hit the floor. Now Scorpio Sky coming outside, breaking up the count.
And this is what Gatson was doing earlier. He was breaking up the count time and time again when Sky was out at ringside. Now, look at this, Sky bringing him back into the ring. He took no time in bringing him back into the ring. He wants to win this match. He wants to win it fast. This third, the deciding fall. We could go all night, Lalo. Look at this springboard drop kick. Gatson blocks it. Saw it coming a mile away. And wait a minute. Springboard ace crusher. Brandon Gatson nails him with an ace crusher of his own. This could be it. He covers him. 1, 2. And Scorpio Sky puts the foot on the ropes.
That ring presence of Scorpio Sky, I'm surprised, is still even there after all the punishment, all the damage that he's taken tonight. He still had the whereabouts to put his foot on the ropes and break up that count, Larry.
Well, that is a mark of a champion. That is a mark of a veteran. As I said before, made his pro debut in 2002. I was there. I called the matchup.
Look at this, Larry. I think Brandon Gatson might be setting up for the nitrous. He put Scorpio Sky right there in front of the turnbuckles. We've seen him go for this before, but look at Sky.
Sky takes him off. Sky now in control. Has Gatson up on the top rope. We could see. Oh, in a minute, Gatson trying to fight back. He wants to hit the nitrous. Sky knows he wants to hit the nitrous, and he's fighting for dear life to hold on for the superplex. The superplex connects, floats over. Where the Scorpio Sky gets this resiliency from? The heart, the determination, the will to be a champion is kicking in for Scorpio Sky.
Well, Scorpio Sky is going to the top rope on his own now. He's going to do a little bit of flying, Larry. He might go for that 5-star frog splash. There he goes.
Oh my God, the 5-star connected, but it connected with a pair of knees into the ribs, the injured ribs. Gatson now going for the gas jacket, and he connects with it. That is going to be it. That's the move he used to put Scorpio Sky away in the first round of the Inland Title Series. As Scorpio Sky kicks out.
I have no idea how he possibly kicked out of that. That frog splash was nothing but knees, and then the gat jacket still kicking out. Brandon Gatson dropping the singlet down. We've seen this before. This is when Brandon Gatson get fired up.
Mr. 300% nails him with the loose fast press, and now is hammering away on the top of the head of Scorpio Sky. The same head you gotta wonder if he gave a concussion to with that super kick.
You gotta wonder if he had a concussion still. The lingering effects of a concussion lasts for quite a long time, Larry. He might have been concussed a couple weeks ago.
Sends him headfirst again into the corner. You gotta wonder, he may realize that he can't go for the nitrous. He may be measuring him. He may be setting up for another super kick. The super kick won him the first fall. It could win him the final fall. All he needs is one chance to hit that super kick. And Sky is being measured here by Gatson, the champion.
Well, look at Gatson. He's not doing anything. Sky is almost lightless in the corner. Well, now you see him. Now Gatson whipping him off.
Wait a minute. Has him measured here. He's taking too much time. Going for the mile high. He went for it. Sky caught him up on his shoulders. Nails it with the ace crusher again. Hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. We have a new champion.
Can you believe it, Larry?
Super Dragon to be become Revolution Pro Junior Heavyweight Champion. I've been there every time he's won Tag Team Championships, Light Heavyweight Championships, and I can proudly say that I was here to witness Scorpio Sky become the heavyweight champion of the EWF.
You and I can both see what we're here late, but look at this. Brandon Jackson just picked up the belt. He just took Scorpio Sky's championship belt. Hold on a second. Now, Brandon Jackson's asking for a mic. Hold on.
Gatson is so used to walking away from the Knights of Columbus Hall with the championship. Here tonight, 2 out of 3 falls. Scorpio Sky finally did it. He finally won the big one here in the EWF.
Scorpio. Brought you to your first training match, bro. First training match. I want to let you know that kick 2 weeks ago wasn't personal, man. Wasn't personal. I want to let you know I wasn't going to give this to you on a silver platter. But you came out here and you earned this thing. You earned this Empire Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship belt. So take this and hold it with pride, man. Take it!
We have a new champion in the EWF. Scorpio Sky has finally done it. On his quest to become the heavyweight champion, he has finally done it, Lalo.
That he has, and look at it, he's just overcome with emotion. He is holding on to that belt, looking up to the heavens, saying thank you. And now look at him, finally celebrating with that EWF Heavyweight Championship.
Your new heavyweight champion, Scorpio Sky.
There is a new fire. There is a new fire lit in the EWF. A new torch has been passed. Scorpio Sky having that torch. And he is going to run until he can't run no more. Until there's no more land that he can run on.